Yo, everybody, welcome into the Couch Potato Sports Show. Who knows when we'll stop? We'll just keep going and keep going and keep going until I finally say, that's enough. But I don't see that happening in the near future. Welcome into the Couch Potato Sports Show. I am Sonny Clark, the hardest working man in sports radio, as we come here on our Sunday tradition. That being said, normally during the NFL season, you'll see us on from 9 to noon Central Standard Time, taking you up to kickoff to all the NFL football games. And in the off season, just like today, a little scattered on time. Today we're hitting noon. Don't know if we're going to get Cuervo. He's still in that moving mode. I haven't bothered him. He's got a lot of stuff that's going on that he's going to be ending up doing. Okay, so if and when we are blessed with the fine co-host's presence on this show, we'll take it when we get it. So, while he's moving, kick him out of the Couch Potato Sports Show studios and let him take care of business and keep his wife happy. And we all know we got to keep the wife happy first before I can get the MVP up on this show. So we got to make sure we continue doing that. That having been said, of course, that's the name of the show. We may or may not have I got 2 special guests today. Maybe 3. I don't know. We'll see. But one, Tom McManus, I got a message out to him. I'm going to just check, see if he's answered yet, because sometimes he, nope, I don't have it back yet. He may not be here. If he's not, I'll probably get him next week. So I just want to keep your eyes and ears open, bringing in former Jacksonville Jaguar linebacker Tom McManus on the show. Friend of the fan, been with us for 12 years. Big news regarding the Jaguars. Okay, I'll say it's big news for my Jaguars, okay? There is a chance and an opportunity to bring on a good player for this football team. Budda Baker is available from the Cardinals. And with all the moves that the Jaguars did last year, spending a lot of money, do they got the money? And if they got the money, is Budda Baker a good fit? That's going to be the big question, bringing him in if we actually get a Budda Baker. And listen, adding Budda Baker to the Jacksonville Jaguars is going to be a good move. If you don't know about Budda Baker, get out there, go to YouTube, catch some film. This guy is speedy, speedy, speedy. And that's what you need for a defense. Let's just be honest. And then you got the physicalities of what Budda Baker brings to, the whole project there. So we'll be seeing if we can get him in for that. Now, I promised a special guest up on this show. And guys, I'll tell you, and normally, I don't know. Well, okay, let's just say anybody's smarter than Sonny Clark, okay? So even this guy that I'm going to bring on, a special guest here. Yeah. Those that know kind of Sonny and his runabouts might know this kid right here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is and very knowledgeable on sports and wrestling. It's Z. Hi, good morning, Z. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you, Mr. Sonny?
I'm doing fantastic. Now, that being said, you see what I got next to your name right here. It says a Saints fan. You're wearing the Saints gear. Yeah, I only got the Jaguar one. But anyway, that being said, Now, have you done any deep investigation on your football team this season for what we might see in 2023?
Yeah, I think that the Saints have done a really good job this offseason. Bringing in Derek Carr, that's a huge addition. Keeping Jameis Winston as well. Derek Carr is a proven winner. With a good head coach, he can definitely win us some games. And bringing back Michael Thomas for another year, that's also very big. A couple years ago, he was leader in receiving yards with about 2,000 yards. So that's pretty big for the Saints. I see Chris Olave going very, very far. And Jawan Johnson is another big piece of that offense.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, you're absolutely. I love Olave. That guy's going to be a superstar. The only problem is he turns into a number 2 if you get Michael Thomas back. My question, and this is just what I've watched from Michael Thomas for the last 3 years. A guy doing business, not playing football. Because if they had a real quarterback or someone he could depend on, do you think, like maybe I do, you think we would have seen Michael Thomas out on the football field if they had a real quarterback? Was he really hurt? Was he only hurt, or was he really injured? What do you think?
I really think he was just playing a stunt, because whenever Drew Brees was at quarterback, you didn't really see a lot of Michael Thomas getting injured. I mean, you would maybe see it once a year. He was the guy that just wouldn't get injured, and, it really could be just a quarterback connection. He might not have had the connection with Jameis Winston or Andy Dalton the way he did Drew Brees. Drew Brees, Saints veteran. Whenever he retired, Michael Thomas started getting injured. But from what I saw in the offseason, Derek Carr and Michael Thomas are getting along very well. And, I mean, if Michael Thomas thinks that Derek Carr is the guy, I think we might get a full other season of Michael Thomas playing some Saints football.
See, I would think Olave on certain football teams would be the number 1 wide receiver for your football team. He's number 2, but I call him a step up number 2, meaning that this guy's a number 1 anywhere else probably. And I call him step up number 2 wide receivers, which I think Olave is. Now you got the combination. You got the Derek Carr. You got the Michael Thomas. You got Olave working pretty well. Then I think the big question then also is where is Alvin Kamara's head? Where is he going to be, and how is he going to fit into this offense, you think?
Well, I mean, it really depends, depending on what, he did before the Pro Bowl that season. I mean, he still could get suspended. Surprised that he didn't last season, and, he had a drop off in production last season. I can say that. But he just wasn't as good as he used to be. But, of course, everything going through his head. And I think that's a big reason why the Saints signed Jamal Williams. In case anything happens, yes, if Jamal Williams fits the offense well, if Kamara gets suspended, I don't think we're going to be in too much trouble. I mean, Jamal Williams led the league in rushing touchdowns last season, and he really popped off last season. Before last season, not too many people were talking about Jamal Williams, but now after last season, a lot of people talking about Jamal Williams, and I think for the Lions, they missed out on not keeping Jamal Williams, and it was an absolute steal for the Saints.
Think about this, and they're talking about the Lions making that next step, playoffs, and maybe making a push in the playoffs. Losing Jamal Williams is one of the big. I agree with you. I think this was a big mistake. Now I realize where the money was going to be. This was a money move more so than we don't want to lose Jamal Williams, but the amounts of money he wanted was going to be too much for him. So they did go ahead. They did get him down to New Orleans. I think Derek Carr. There were 3 places that I could see Derek Carr going as far as division and the type of competition right now in the NFC South. I think this might have been the right move for him because he doesn't have to win 13, 14 games. They might be able to get there with 10 or 11 and still make the playoffs based up on this division. What do you think?
I think you got a good point there. And I could still see the Panthers doing pretty well, even without DJ Moore. If the Panthers, obviously, they're going to draft a quarterback number 1 overall. That's no question. Not at all. It's, and their receiving core isn't terrible right now. You got Laviska Shenault, and you got a couple other younger guys that will definitely help. They signed DJ Chark in the offseason, speedy guy.
That one hurt my feelings.
Yeah, but I think DJ Chark will probably fit in pretty well. I don't think, no, I'm not saying he's going to be a DJ Moore replacement because he's not DJ Moore level yet. Now, give him like 1 or 2 more years, he could be up to that level, but DJ Moore is a very electric receiver. And, I get that the Panthers were like, okay, yeah, we need a quarterback, but I don't think it was the right decision to go ahead and get rid of DJ Moore because of how electric he is. Now, yes, his contract is going to get very, very expensive, but, I don't, if I was a GM, I wouldn't mind paying a wide receiver that's going to play well for me 20, 20, 25 mil, 15 mil, depending on how much they want. If they want a big money contract and if they're playing well for my team, I'm going to keep them. But,
Yes.
yeah, I definitely think the Panthers could still be contenders, and I wouldn't even leave the Falcons out of the picture, because of Jesse Bates. Who knows if Cordell Patterson will still stay at his production level. We'll see if Desmond Ridder can develop along with Drake London. Maybe if those two get a connection, they're both similar in age. If they develop a good connection, when it's time to renew their contracts, the Falcons are most likely going to re-sign both of them.
Yeah, I think I vaguely agree with you. I'm not a fan on Ridder. He's a guy that's played 4 football games, and listen, little film is a lot of film when it comes to NFL coaches and defensive players. So I want to see more from him before I'm going to give him. I think it's a mistake for the Atlanta Falcons to buy into just this guy. There were some moves that they needed to make and they didn't make them. And backing this guy up is going to be one of those biggest things that I think they might have lost out on. That having been said, of course, that's the name of the show. You can catch it from noon to 3 today and 9 to noon during the football season. That being said, I see where that defense was last year at the beginning of the season. The first 5 games for the Atlanta Falcons were a really good, solid club. When they were unable, the problem was they weren't able to get the offense going around it. And I don't know, will that be the next big thing to get them to move? What they need, in my opinion, is they need to see that guy do what the dude from San Francisco, the one that got hurt, and they're loving him. He needs to be maybe half as good as that dude. And see if they can slowly build that offense. And did they keep Taysom Hill?
I don't.
Your team?
Oh yes, we did. We did keep Taysom. Yeah. But we did let go of one of the best, I guess, quote, backup receivers in Marquez Callaway. He was always one of my favorites ever since he joined the team.
They should. The Atlanta Falcons, in reality, should have went after Taysom Hill. I'm a believer in that. Plus, you get 2 games with the Saints. You get the benefit of his experience and everything within it. I think that's a good backup role because he can go in and out, whether it's even a tight end. What a great tight end option that you guys have with a Taysom Hill. Do you foresee a lot of changes in his role? Because you've seen him in and out of the starting lineup as a quarterback, or during the game, you'll see him come in. With a Derek Carr being the established quarterback, do you think you'll see a lot of him at the quarterback position this year?
Well, that really depends. Dennis Allen, if he changes up the scheme to only fit Derek Carr, not many quarterback runs I don't think are going to be in that playbook. Maybe 2 or 3, couple, because Derek Carr, he can scramble for a good 5 yards, get you a decent 2nd and 5 or whatever you need, right? But, I mean, if there's not a lot of QB runs, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Taysom Hill at tight end. And, I mean, if they give him the right coaching, he could even maybe sub in at running back. That's what a lot of people have been saying. With his speed and his agility, his strength, he would fit in at running back, but I just don't think he would fit in there just yet.
Yeah. I think the tight end position is going to be really good for him. I think there's going to be a game plan between him and Derek Carr. Great outlet guy. Never mind Kamara out of the backfield. So you got the 1-2 on each side. You got the Taysom Hill on the curl routes, and maybe even swinging Kamara and others out of the backfield. There's a lot of options, which is a good thing for the Saints, and that's why you should be optimistic. Where they are lacking is their defense. You and I both know that. If you watch the Saints, last year it was, you had the defense playing well for the first 2 quarters of the game, see them slide off because either A, they've been out on the field forever, B, they're just like, geez, we're 25 points behind, letting this one go. So I think they need a cohesiveness on the defensive side of the ball that can remain for 4 quarters more so than 2 or 3. And I think they do have a shot at the NFC South title.
And I definitely agree with that. On defense, I think there's key positions that we need. First, we do need to get rid of Bradley Roby. He's solid, but he's just getting old, and it's just he's not going to want to play much longer, and he's just going to not have as much production as he would have a couple years ago. But definitely for sure, I think we do need to buff the defensive line. That's one thing.
Absolutely.
Cameron Jordan, he's good until he decides, okay, well, I'm going to play 1 or 2 more years, But until we get rid of Cameron Jordan, we need to worry about the rest of the D-line and not him. Because we need defensive tackle badly. We let go of David Onyemata, which he was a solid defensive tackle. He wasn't a stud like, DeForest Buckner or other stud defensive tackles. But he was solid. He would get you a job done. And it's really defensive line for us. And maybe another corner, but I see Alontae Taylor going really far. 2nd-round draft pick this year. Last season. He played really well for a 2nd-round draft pick. I'm not saying that, if you go in the 2nd round, you're not as good. But I could have seen him going in the 1st round because he put up that kind of rookie production, against wide receivers that were pretty tough this season.
So I guess what you're saying,
telling me there's a chance.
Is there a chance for the Saints that you do if you look at it right now, based upon what you see today, do you see the Saints winning the South? So
I definitely see it.
I was going to say they're going to be in a battle per se, if you want to call it a battle, with the Panthers, I think, and that shows kind of drop off, I think, that you see with Tampa Bay where they are as far as in the standings, and Atlanta, they're the wild card in reality. They're either going to be they're going to put it together real good in the first half of the season, or they're going to be really bad, and they'll come out of the gate, I think. Well, I agree with you. I think we can see where the Saints have a possibility to win this division, and then at that point, then let's see what works on. And of course, it's a long season. You're talking 18 weeks of NFL football before you even get to the first round of the playoffs. Key portion of that is health. Keeping Michael Thomas healthy, if he's really injured from the times before, or the absence of Alvin Kamara, how they'll get the step up in the backup. I think those are the big issues that you got with your Saints this year. If there was another team that would get past the Saints, who do you think it would be in the NFC South?
I would probably. I know it's not going to be the Buccaneers. Okay, they made the playoffs, which means the draft pick's going to be higher. And I don't think they're going to take – because all the good quarterbacks are going to be off the board by whatever pick they're at. So they're stuck in a situation there. But the Falcons, like you said, wild card team. If Desmond Ridder performs, and maybe they get Desmond Ridder another wide receiver, that could boost them up for sure. There's a good chance that the Panthers do win it. And I really think that the Saints and the Panthers, those are the 2 favorites right now. If the Panthers get another good wide receiver, I see them making the playoffs over the Saints.
Yep. I don't think I can argue with it. That's why I said I can bring on 11. You're 11, right? I can bring on 11. 13. I can bring on a 13-year-old. He'd be smarter than me. That's just the way it is, and I appreciate that. Now, that having been said, we're looking at the realm of what the NFL is about. Which is great. But you and I both attended a football game last night. Did you? Now, folks that don't know, you're a ball boy for the Frisco Fighters. Do you get an opportunity really to see the game, or is there other things that are going on for what you got to do for your quote unquote job there. Do you get an opportunity to see a lot of the games? Are you looking in the skyline? Or are you able to see what's your vantage point of the game?
Well, of course, we get to watch the game because, we can kind of look out from the tunnel. I can look out from the tunnel. But I do see a good portion of the game, especially, I always, it's kind of, I guess you could say, quote, terrifying whenever you have players, running right into your section. We've had players almost
5 times last night where we were sitting right next to where you were, and about 5 times they were pretty much in my buddies in the front row's lap. It was kind of that's why I sit in the second row.
Yeah, yeah. Then and plus ticket prices are cheaper. Can't go wrong with that.
Too. Big time too. So what do you think of them? They looked really good last night. Big win. Not only that. The Pirates were a championship team not more than just a few years ago. So you kind of see what's going on and what they bring to the table. Frisco right now, and just keeping track of the IFL. Right now, I'm going to tell you right now, they're one of the better teams in the IFL. They get next week. God, I wish I could go. They get the Rattlers in town. I would love to see that game. That one's going to be a good one. Kind of scouted a little bit. What do you think? I mean, I don't know if you know much about the Arizona Rattlers and what they're doing, but you know what's going on regarding the Frisco Fighters. What's your take on the game that's going to happen next week?
Well, we've played the Rattlers twice last season, and the finals record was 1 Fighters win, 1 Rattlers win. I was actually first row for one of the games. I decided to, you know what? I can give someone ball boy for this game, and I'm going to sit front row for this game. Definitely a different vantage point, but the Rattlers, they are a very, very good team. They've been doing indoor football, not just with the IFL, but other indoor football leagues. I think they've been doing it since 1993. So their coaching staff.
1993 is right, because I was there for their inaugural game in Phoenix, Arizona. That's Bill Cerna. Bill Cerna, we were Rattler fans. We were there. We lived, but we didn't know each other until we got to Texas. We probably passed each other in the corridor probably 100 times. But first time. And so, yes, I know the history, a good history for the Arizona Rattlers as far as winning in the AFL, winning the championship, then coming to the IFL and doing what they're doing. I think they've won twice, if I'm not mistaken, since they come in. It might be 3, but I know twice. This is a tough football team historically. And if they keep it up, this is going to be. So, are you going to sit in the stands for this game, or are you going to ball boy that game?
I'm going to ball boy that game. The Rattlers, they are a great team. And every time we play the Rattlers, I'm always thinking, well, this game's either going to go really good with a Fighters domination, or it'll go. I can't say a Fighters game goes bad. I can't. Fighters. We always stick in it. There's not a game where we're losing by more than 21 points. We're always within this 3-score vicinity, and it's just because of the way our coaching staff is and the way that our coaching staff trains our guys. We're just always in the picture for the championship game. And last season, we lost, I think it was Sioux Falls. We lost in we lost. It was a good game. It came down right to the wire. But last game for sure was definitely insane as well. But against the Rattlers, like I said, great team, phenomenal team. Their players, they know how to play football.
Yes. And their coaching staff with Kevin Guy over there, one of the best in the league, whether it's AFL, even if they went to the AFL right now, they'd be one of the best coaching teams. They're probably the second best, because I'll tell you, Billy's crew, that he's got Billy back, the head coach of the Fighters, got a damn good crew, experienced championships in a lot of leagues as well. And now, even though Kevin Guy's probably got about the same, he probably has more, but still, the 1-2 punch of those two that's going to make for a great game next Saturday over in Frisco as the Fighters take on the Arizona Rat. What? All right, hold on. All right, what the hell do you want? Just like
Time out. Z gets an intro and I don't. Really? I'm the
better.
Godfather. You're better.
I'm better.
Okay. You know, I like when you didn't talk. Okay. No.
Yeah.
Look, I'll put it this way. I got my fill of New Orleans Saint coming up. Recap of what's going to happen this year already from Z. So you know what? I never knew Z can talk. First of all, I never heard him speak. So to hear him come out and talk about the Saints and everything else, dude, I'm hyped for your team, dude. I really am. I mean, what are you doing, Sonny?
I'm just making adjustments, sir. Leave me alone.
Nobody wants to see that, sir.
I know.
Z, how you doing, son?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Dude, I am great. The network is doing great. We are winning. We got tag team gold. We got the junior heavyweight championship under control now. Dude, we are so excited. Sword Mania 3 is coming up here this summer. I'm hearing the echo of my own voice, and I think it's probably Z's phone doing that.
No, I have to switch headsets. It's me.
Okay, it's you. Okay. Well, can I blame Z on something? Damn it! Come on. Look. No, you're good, buddy.
No, you're good, bro. I understand jokes.
Well, you think these are jokes? That's your problem. Okay, but now look. Look, I'm excited. What's going on here, Soar? Although I am a little upset. Have you not seen the latest flyer they put out? The latest poster? I can't hear you, Sonny. I can't hear you. Not at all. Sonny? I'm doing all this, but you're not talking. What are you doing? I can do this too. Let's all do a show on Facebook Live. We're just doing sign language.
All right.
Okay. Anyway, Z, just you and I now. But hey, Z, have you seen the latest post for Sword Championship Wrestling?
No, I have not.
Do you know what they're calling it?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you know what they're calling it? Network failure. Now look, you're a smart kid. You used to come to store a lot. You saw what we do. Would you call what we've done a failure?
Not exactly. No, definitely not. I mean, y'all got talent. Y'all definitely do. Y'all got some good talent.
Good talent. We have championship talent, sir.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, we all have gold, okay, except for me. But I'm the ringleader. I can make sure they get the gold.
So, is there? You might as well come up with a, let's see, ringleader championship.
I don't need a title. You know why? I'm the Podfather. I got my own title. No one else is the Podfather but me. You know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Where is Sonny at? There.
Here he is. He is back.
I'm back, and give me a second.
What?
Push this button until I find so we can see everybody. What's going on now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
All right,
we don't have to do sign language anymore.
Yeah. Well, no, if you all wore headsets, it wouldn't have been an echo. But that's okay. We're alive. We're working through. But yeah, I
come prepared, sir, because I'm the Podfather. I know how to do this crap. This is not my first rodeo. By the way, I was on the show about 2 weeks ago, right? And all the fan mail I got for being on your show, all the people saying, "God, I wish to bring the Podfather on every single weekend." And you know what? Out of the goodness of my heart, I woke up early this morning because I work late. Okay, I work 16 hours a day. I'm out there killing at the world's largest casino. For me to come in here and just give you my time and not have an intro.
All right.
Next week I'll have an intro.
I might not be here next week.
Listen, this is not I Dream a Genie. I can't blink and it just automatically just show up. So
where is the intro to Calcius TV, sir?
I will get you your damn intro.
I've got Omega being pissed at me. I've got Tommy. I've got Michael. I've even got Billy Hills, who you don't even know. He's upset he's not even on the intro.
Yeah. Where's the mute button?
I know what mine is. I don't know what yours is.
Yeah, all right. So there. Anyway, hey, we're here. It's the Couch Potato Sports Show, not the network, but I'm glad that he is here.
The network's here. What are you talking about?
Yeah, not your network channel. Your network. By the way,
it's called Calcius TV, sir.
Hey, I know you sent it to me, but you sent it to me on my. Wait, hold on. I
texted to you.
Yeah, you texted. You should have sent it. You need to send that to me on Facebook, and I'll put it up for next time they're at the Dallas Elks Lodge. I might even just show up for that one. I'm not. They're not going to sucker me into doing commentary. I'm going to go just for the wrestling action because I'm going to bring my buddies along with me to watch that. So, did you send it to me?
Give me a second.
Yeah, so send it to me. I'll put it up for people to see. Now, that being said, Z, I'm sorry for the interruption of this guy here. He kept knocking on my door. This is like
I'm doing you a favor, sir.
Yeah, doing me a favor by saying that you don't have an intro. I mean, is that all you're gonna put forth for the show today? Is that you're mad that you didn't get the intro?
There you go. I sent you the poster. See, I'm doing all your work for you, sir.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Do the
just like we're doing commentary. I had to carry you through all these broadcasts.
Is that what it was?
Oh my God.
Or was it me having to kick your butt to get you to get going? I mean, I don't know.
My butt.
Yeah.
You can't kick that high.
One thing I wish I would have seen was Nate the Great just tear you a new one. That's what I wish that I would have got a chance to see.
He knows better. Listen.
He knows better.
Speaking of Nate the Great, I've been watching what he's been putting on Facebook. A whole lot of, he's thinking about coming back again. He's thinking about doing what's good for his kids to see, and to have them be this. This whole start and stop career that he has in wrestling is one thing, and I get all that. But I had him for just a second in the network, just a second, and then he decided to retire. I'm telling you right now, if he came back to Soar Championship Wrestling and became part of the network, we can have a new Soar World Heavyweight Champion, a 2-time Soar Heavyweight Champion, and Nate Lawson. I mean, you can't argue the fact that the people I have on my team have gold, okay? Even a certain 17-year-old kid who decided to take his ball and go somewhere else, he had gold. He kept gold because of me. So, now, granted, Arkansas gold, so that doesn't really count for anything. But, I mean, still, that's what he had, all right?
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, he got the Soar Consolation Prize more than anything else.
The consolation prize. Okay. All right. So you're saying that if Nate the Great, by the way, I heard through the grapevine that he was going to be making an announcement on his future here fairly quickly. Do you think that we'll see it here? Do you think you will get that announcement at this one? Network failure. I think that's great. What a great title. What a great
title. First of all, Cocaine Bear is upset that guy's wearing his fur. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Second of all, I mean, this kid who's coming out from Tennessee named Luke Justice, I think is his name. Lucy Justice. I'm not sure what he's calling himself, but anyway, he came down there. He's picked up, I'm guessing, 2 wins at Soar, but once again, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's there to hear it, does it matter? But I mean, really, this kid, he's bitching about not being on the poster. He hasn't done anything. We have done a lot. We can barely get on a poster. Yeah. And when they put us on the poster, what do they say? Network failure. Blow it up that big, right?
Wait a second. I thought success in reality is not being on a poster. Is that now the definition of having success in the wrestling business is being on a poster?
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is it sounds like you're whining and crying and bitching and moaning about something that is so this. Yeah, it sounds like you a little bit something here. I don't know. It seems like just because you're not on a poster that you're not very happy.
Listen. It ain't about me being on a poster. I can care less about being on a poster. Okay. My guys deserve to be on a poster. Of course, they put on a good show. They have to. It's in New Mexico. They rarely go out there. Look, here's the thing. My guys.
Good to see you, Rick.
Okay. Well,
see, you already got your fanfare going on out there, Z. How about that? Do you know who that is?
Oh yeah, no, that's my grandma.
Ah, hi, Grandma. Good to see you. Hey, before you even say anything, Trey Mac, that's his grandma. No, and listen, the next time, depending on what you say, Z might have something to say.
Listen,
the next time he sees it, and you might not like it.
Listen, I got nothing but love for Little Z. Okay.
I
mean, he can't help himself that he's a Saints fan. I mean, he has to put up with that, but it's okay.
He's the kind of guy that says Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. That's what that's just him. By the way, is Mother's Day next week?
Here, I can check that.
No, it's in a couple of weeks.
I know it's close. I just and it's not there yet, but I know it's around the corner.
It's on May 14th.
May 14th.
So it's about close.
Yeah, about a month.
We still got to get through my birthday here, which is this Thursday first, okay?
And how old are you gonna be?
I feel 68 right now, but I'm all right.
You kind of look it sometimes too.
By the way, Z, I'll say real quickly, what is that you're drinking, Z?
What are you drinking,
Dr. Pepper.
Same here, buddy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Don't even go into great minds think alike. I don't even want to hear it. Yeah, because the only one with the great mind is that guy right there. All right? That guy right there's got the great mind.
So what I'm saying, though, I think Z could be network worthy. I think he's very network worthy. What do you say, Z? Do you want to be a champion?
I mean,
once you want to have, I know you got the SOAR gold. The SOAR kids gold, which is, they just give that to you for having good grades. Great.
Would you knock it off? Good Lord.
Look, you want to have a match?
Do I want to have a match? Wow. I don't have time for that.
Straight like that. And then I'll make sure everyone has time for that to see Primetime Z.
Primetime Z. We're taking Dante Smiley. Okay, first of all, the team that my team has got to face the Pillars of Destiny, they're already wearing fur to the ring, so they're already stealing from Dante Smiley already. And now you're going to wear, your Primetime Z? Really?
Primetime, just like Deion Sanders.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, who's never a Saint, by the way. He was a Falcon.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah,
okay,
not that.
Let's bring up facts here. Don't worry about that.
Now, that being said, I haven't asked Z about. I got his opinion about WrestleMania a couple weeks ago. What was? Did you get the opportunity to watch it? Watch both nights. What do you think about what you saw in WrestleMania, Z?
I definitely enjoyed it. Probably one of my favorite matches was definitely Logan Paul. I like the Logan Paul match with the Prime bottle, and then the whole stuff that's going on with that right now. I definitely think that KSI and Logan Paul, they'll turn on each other in WWE. I think KSI is going to get a big role in WWE, and I think that's a big reason why Logan Paul renewed his contract.
What to bring in the guy in the milk or the drink bottle?
Prime bottle.
What's his name? K something?
KSI.
I never heard of him before that night, but I guess he's a buddy of his. So you're thinking he's trying to get KSI in the business?
Oh yeah, because KSI used to box, and at one point Logan Paul was rivals with him. They hated each other, but then they decided we're gonna retire, we're gonna become friends, and we're gonna make this company of Prime, which I actually have 2 Prime bottles in the fridge right now, but they're.
What is it? Is it an energy drink or is it a muscle drink or a combo of both?
It's really, it's more or less energy. It's kind of like Gatorade. It's better Gatorade.
Got it. All right. Very well. I've seen it. I won't drink it. It's I'm kind of a water milk coffee guy, but up on top of that, yeah, it's pretty much all I drink anymore. But that being said, outside of that match, what was your favorite match outside of that one? What was your impression? What you saw?
Well, I was definitely upset that Cody came back, won the Rumble, and then Solo Sikoa ruined everything. I mean, like.
Came a little short, huh? There, Trey, didn't it? Yeah, Cody came a little short. A
little bit.
Couldn't finish the story, maybe, right?
Exactly.
I definitely think Cody Rhodes has a place with the supposed draft that they're gonna bring back. Say they keep the mid-card titles on SmackDown and Raw. Cody goes to Raw, he'll go after the U.S. Championship. He goes to SmackDown, he'll go after the IC title. If he has another match with Roman, he'll probably lose again, because they want to. Roman is the guy in the company right now. But there's a good chance that Cody goes back for the US or IC title and holds it for a pretty long sustained time. Kind of like with here I gotta try and perfect this here. The Ring General Gunther.
I like this kid.
Yeah, if they give him a title reign like Gunther, he could definitely be one of the better IC or US titles and build up a rivalry with, maybe Dolph Ziggler or someone that hasn't been in the main card picture in a while. That used to be the top guy in the company.
I would never call Dolph Ziggler the top guy in the company, but I mean, granted, he's had the championship before, but that was the big gold belt title at the time, so that was kind of the secondary title to WWE. I think they're going to split the titles eventually.
I was wondering about that. I think they need to do that anyway on both of them, the tag and the big ones.
Right, and if they do that, Cody's going after one thing. He ain't going after the Intercontinental title. He's had that before. He ain't going after the U.S. title. He don't care about that. He wants the WWE title. He wants the title his dad didn't get.
Yeah.
Okay?
And not even the Universal. He wants the WWE.
Nobody wants the Universal title. That's a useless title. The hell with that. I mean,
look, got the championship on each show. It makes sense to me.
I mean, look, you got to do it with the toy belts they got there. Put up the Wing Eagle belt. Put up the big gold belt. Separate the two brands, SmackDown and Raw. Keep those guys on those shows only. Don't let them go. Don't let them cross over because now nobody cares. I mean, great.
See, that's why I think the draft's almost a waste of time in reality when you take a look at it.
It's a time filler. It's all it is.
Yeah, and this would be a time filler too.
They do not need a 6-man tag title. No.
I think they do. Okay, now here you gotta hear me out. All right, so 6-man titles. They had them in ROH. They had them in ROH. They had them in AEW.
They had them in WCW too.
Yeah, WCW as well.
It didn't work there either.
That doesn't mean it won't work.
I agree. I don't think that does. It just needs to be written right. I'm telling you right now, when people go to the show, okay, they want to see guys. They make a 6-man. If they make a 6-man division, okay, you get to see or three teams. They see 6 guys in one match compared to just 2 if they're just one-on-one. So and plus how they would write it or how those would end up would be very interesting. And I think the reason why it hasn't worked is bad writing, more so than the action.
I just saw what Rick posted on there, 6-man tag match. They're entertaining. How many times did you and I, Sonny, call matches at SOAR when they'd have more than a tag team match? They'd have a 3-on-3, or they'd have like a fatal 4-way match, whatever.
I can't remember calling a 6-man, but that don't mean we didn't. But I
hate matches that has chaos uncontrollably. I mean,
And not enough cameras or any.
Well, I mean, like, what was it? A few months ago, we had a 4 versus 4 match between the network and Unstoppable, and they got the better end of it because Source screwed us out of one of our tag team partners because AJ was already had a singles match.
So is that what it's
I almost jumped in the ring and did something, but I'm too worried fitting off a channel.
Why didn't you just put on some tights?
Why didn't you put on any tights? Come on now.
Does anyone want to see a fat guy wear tights? No.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
I don't do tights, sir.
Do the Andre Giant one. That'd be cool.
I'm not Andre the Giant.
Oh, that's true too.
He's 7 foot. He was 7'4".
Far from it.
I mean, he's 6 feet under now, so I'm taller than him. But I mean, still.
Wow.
You know what? I got it. Z. I got it. A weasel outfit. Yeah.
No, I'm not stealing from Bobby the Brain Heenan. Okay.
No. He needs to become a character.
Yeah,
like a rat. That's what I was about to say. Give him a rat mask, and he's the guy that it's kind of like a Braun Strowman versus Akira Tozawa match, except he's Akira Tozawa.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. But one thing I was gonna say, going back to the 6-man titles, they build up a big rivalry, then they have a title match in War Games, 3-on-3 for the titles.
Hey, so you need to be a writer. I'm telling you, that's actually a really good idea. But here's my problem. Okay. And tag, never mind 3-man tag. Braun Strowman and Ricochet being a team doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous. I can't stand it. Braun Strowman is better than that. Ricochet is a shot by night. He's there just as an occasion to do his little flips. Keep him single. Find Braun Strowman a real partner.
I see what WWE was trying to do, though. I see that they're trying to put cruiserweights and super heavyweights together, because think back, probably 2019 Raw, you would have like AOP going against Lucha House Party. That's just an instant squash match.
Yeah.
But I see what they're trying to do, because if you have a cruiserweight and a super heavyweight versus another cruiserweight and a super heavyweight, it makes more sense, and it's not really a squash match. It could be a really high-flying match. And say, like, Ricochet were to come off the top rope, get caught by, I don't know, super heavyweight, Gunther. Maybe put Gunther maybe put him back in Imperium if he drops the IC title. Have Ricochet get caught off the top rope and then catch him with a power bomb. Just some spots like that. Just putting a cruiserweight and a super heavyweight together and put it into a single division, it just makes more sense to me.
I'm sitting here thinking, before we get to what's written there, I never realized how much of a genius I am. Sometimes I wonder.
Are you sure you're only drinking milk and water?
There's only milk and only water in it. But I bring on the MVP on the show, he's moving and stuff, Cuervo, which been with me for 13 years doing the show. One of the best moves I ever did. And then I was smart enough to bring on a 13-year-old who is smarter than both of us combined here, Trey. I think I'm actually a genius on what I'm doing here. So, but
what are you doing?
Putting together quality programming.
You put me on the show. Clearly doing something right.
Well, yeah, I know that's true. Yes, got it.
I mean, and honestly, Z, for me, Z is an MVP of why the hell are they mowing in my backyard now?
It sounds like a party.
Damn people. I'm on the phone. Never mind.
I'm on the phone. Anyway. All right. Yeah, he is a walking encyclopedia.
All right.
Unbelievable. Okay, so let's be honest, okay? So because I'm
Have I been nothing but on the
I'm a fan. I mean, look at the way I talk to Trey, so it's honesty. I didn't expect how well you were doing today. So you are definitely a great addition, because I'm an idiot. You're not. So we kind of balance the show out, and then there's Trey. So it just kind of.
Well, for first right thing you said, you are an idiot. So go ahead.
I am. Hey, self-admitted idiot. So it is what it is. Now that being said, let's go back to this because this is interesting. I don't know, and I think Z probably knows more about this than I do. However, after today's show, I will be watching the USFL. They're kicking off later on this afternoon. I think it's 3:30. We're off at 3, so I'm going to sit down and I'm actually going to watch it. Although there won't be anybody in the in the stands, but I'm going to watch it anyway.
Nobody's going to sense the XFL either. So
we're just kind of used to it as far as what it is. So what do I think about the USFL to play the XL championship? Sounds like a great idea. But what it all comes down to is who's going to pay for it. And that's going to be the biggest question on who, regardless of what we do. If it's, the IFL, like last night, seeing how much are they going to spend in order to do what they're doing. And, and usually these minor league teams and minor leagues don't have a lot of money to be doing a lot of extra outside of what would I like to see it. Of course, I mean, I think that's something because of where they are as far as the level that they're playing on. But man, as it is right now, The Rock's talking about no more XFL. I mean, I think you even broke that story last week. Didn't you, Trey, on the show when we were talking about The Rock, maybe not bringing back the XFL next year? So maybe it could be a grand adios by playing the USFL.
First of all, who would pay for it if they can draw any money at all? The networks would have paid for it because the networks would have said we want to see the XFL champion versus the USFL champion and have our own certain type brand spring football championship that we can give, kind of like their Super Bowl, right? But because the XFL is looking at this whole thing saying, did we fail 2 other times? This is number 3. I mean, this is see, you probably don't understand this right now. This is kind of going through a bad marriage, not once, not twice, but a 3rd time. Okay. So
right, guilty.
When you go through more than 2, when you get to that 3rd one, you say this better work or not, or otherwise I gotta shut her down. Yeah. Now, there are some that get married 7, 8 times. I have an uncle who did that. But I mean, the thing is though is that there's so much money he lost in the process. That's how much money the XFL is losing too. So now the USFL, they recently appointed Daryl Johnson to be their president for the USFL now. So I'm actually interested.
Did he take over for Andrew Luck's daddy?
I think he did.
Okay. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. I mean, I don't know. Everything I'm hearing, usually everything The Rock touches turns to gold, and it kind of gives you an idea of
not lately.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Black Adam fell apart. That destroyed DC and their universe. So now they're having to reboot that entire thing because of The Rock doing the power play with Disney, not Disney, with DC, and then of course he was going to be at WrestleMania. Well, that didn't work out well either because he was too busy doing other things with the XFL.
Well, hold on. He's trying to save a brand. I mean, yes, WrestleMania is great. He's going to be there for what, 5 minutes? 5 minutes. Never mind flying to get there for 5 minutes. I think business wise, he probably did the right thing, but maybe business wise he didn't, because if he does show up at WrestleMania, maybe he could put more eyes up on it in reality. So I see what you're saying in both ways for The Rock, but normally he's got this. When I saw Jumanji, I just kind of lost out on where The Rock is until that wasn't a really good role for The Rock, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, he's done 3 of them.
Huh? Yeah, well, how many is? I only saw the one where he came back with everybody changing.
Z, you probably know how many Jumanjis has The Rock done?
I've never watched a single Jumanji.
All right, yeah, that's my buddy right there. I'm right there with him.
I watched the one that he was on. I thought he only did one.
I finally saw the one that Robin Williams did decades ago, and I was like,
I wasn't impressed in that one. Now it had Robin Williams in it, didn't it?
Yeah, I
wasn't necessarily impressed with it, although I could see how kids are impressed with it. I get, I get it.
There's 2 Jumanji movies that The Rock has starred in, but there was one back in '95 as well.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know about that one.
Well, the one in '95 had Robin Williams in it, so that.
Oh no, I knew it, but The Rock wasn't in that one.
No,
right.
he said he wasn't in that one.
Yeah, so there were only 2 Jumanji. I just didn't buy the storyline, probably because I seen the first one and I knew what the real line was, and it's kind of making them into superheroes, and they go down and do that. But that in itself, where The Rock is and what he has not been able to do, which is resurrect a dead brand in reality. This would be the 3rd time.
Should be the final time too, by the way.
Well, I would think so.
I mean,
but
does
it put a perspective on, just real quick, does it put a perspective and outside of sports where The Rock could run for president and actually win? Does it put a perspective on that? Maybe. I mean, listen, I'm not buying for 2 seconds that he'd win the presidency. Okay, I'm not that.
Yeah, but no one bought that Donald Trump would win either, and he won. So
well, see, and that's what I'm kind of. God, I hate it when we're thinking on the same level, which is scary to me. I always thought I was up here and you're down here, and now we're meshing. But
I've always been up here, sir. I've always been up here. Let's get this straight. Listen,
like that.
President Podfather.
Yeah.
What do you think, Zay? You can't vote, so it don't matter. But
wow.
Yeah.
I think I think I might have to have a match with you, but we're gonna put a special stipulation on this, a tortilla slap match. So we take a tortilla, and whoever can slap the other with a tortilla in the face as hard as they can wins.
But I think I'd pay to see that.
I know everyone would. I mean,
I'm just trying to see the poster right now. Little Z versus the Podfather in a tortilla slapping match.
Here he is, back on the.
Who would pay to see that?
Yeah. Everyone, literally everyone, because yeah, I'm prime.
Okay. I'll make you a deal. You contact 500 fans, okay? You can have them come to the Dallas Oaks Lodge, have them sell that thing out, and you know what? I'll come do it. I have a price.
And here's why I know he will do this. We won't mention a name, but he took a bump from somebody just as recent, 3 years ago? Went over the top at that bar, when they were doing that deal at the bar. That looked like it hurt. And he showed up the next week. So I got to give him props. So maybe he can handle a flour tortilla.
This is not my first rodeo, sir. Okay, I mean, I did spend a couple years in the actual ring at one time or another. Okay?
I
wouldn't get at it, but
I was impressed. I mean, geez, he takes a compliment and twists it into something that's bad. I don't know, Z. It's just I can't win for losing with this guy.
And you know what? You said you were in the ring for a while, but there's something called ring rust.
In other words, there's not enough oil that you can put on that rust to make it
That's
work.
what I was about to say that.
Man, this was the smartest decision I ever did. This is great. Anyway, wait. All right, now back to what we were talking about, sports. Now that means
yes. Let's.
No, I don't want my feelings are hurt right now. Give me a second.
your feelings are hurt. Yeah.
I seem to do that a lot. I don't ask how, but I went to an XFL game. It was Sea Dragons versus Arlington Renegades. But the thing about XFL, I don't think it's dead. I genuinely don't. When I went, it was at the old Ranger Stadium. That stadium was not dead. It was almost.
Thank you.
You have the bottom of the entire stadium sold out. It's just
really?
the top.
I'm surprised. But now, was that the first game or the last game or the middle? Did it slowly go away? Or
it was about the middle of. It was mid-season, and it seemed like no one left because it was just that close of a game.
Oh, okay.
And it was actually really entertaining. Their rules that they have, I think that makes it just as much better. And plus,
for the new school people that will be watching, the old school guys, I think what we're seeing is the difference between new school and old school. It's why I have Cuervo on the show. I'm old school, he's new school, you're even preschool. I mean, middle school or wherever you are. So I get different looks at different things on different levels. See, I'm going to watch the XFL, the XFL today. They kick off today. I'm going to watch that.
I thought you were watching the USFL.
That's what it is. Today. Yeah, that the USFL is kicking off today. I'm going to watch that because it's more traditional football per se than the XFL. And I see what they're trying to do to get people to watch the XFL outside of what you're seeing in football, creating new rules and things like that. That also being said, we can very easily take that thinking and put it to indoor football, Z, where we're seeing different rules. Like we saw a deuce last night, which was awesome because they missed the extra point, and then he kicks literally kicks a 58-yard field goal for a deuce. So that kind of thing, how it makes it exciting. Now, indoor football, I love indoor football because of where you can sit, where you see. When you walk into an NFL stadium, you're 35 yards away from anything.
Yep.
Regardless of what it is, unless you're in the end zone, then you're about 20 yards away.
Right.
Indoor football, you're on top of the action. Damn near had those defensive guys in my lap 5 times last night. That's why I sit in the second row, not the first row. And these are some pretty big boys heading your way, man.
Oh yeah.
And so I get that aspect of it. So, and talk about a guy who loves,
Your money was down the pot.
I don't know. Rick, I know this kid. I think he could get the Podfather.
Let me tell you something, Rick. If your money's on the Podfather, you're losing however much money you put on the Podfather. I'll tell it to you straight like that.
So.
Listen, Z, I'm going to give this to you in my best Paul Heyman voice I can give you, okay?
Oh, God.
You didn't, I don't think anyone...
Lucy, let me just explain to you why the Podfather would beat you, okay?
I'm just going to step out. I'm going to step out.
Your size.
He's got to use the rest.
5 times your size, okay? Quitter.
Love it. So great timing on that. He probably had to use the restroom, so it was like perfect for that. Von Erich.
That was quick.
By the way, we've talked about it, and I got brain matter all over inside my skull. And we've talked about it. Who was your favorite wrestler in reality, Podfather? Who you got, Trey? Who's your favorite wrestler?
Well, I grew up during the Hogan era.
Mm-hmm.
And living in Texas, you would think I would say the Von Erichs because I lived in Texas, but I never really watched World Class Championship Wrestling as a kid.
Right.
My first foray into it was I was a little younger than Z. I was 10 years old at the time, and my dad called me into the living room and said, "Trey, you got to watch this." And Roddy Piper was on TV making fun of Uncle Elmer getting married. And on Saturday Night's Main Event,
I remember that.
And then in watching that, I didn't get hooked then. But then my dad started renting all these VHS tapes of WrestleManias and whatever else. And Hogan was definitely the big draw. You see Hogan for what he was, and cool, right? And you want to see Hogan topple whoever he was because that's how you feed. It's how you fed Hogan. You fed him giants, you fed him monsters, and he went to King Kong Bundy, Big John Studd, Andre the Giant, whatever. But my favorite to come out of all that was Randy Savage because he was so out there in the interviews.
I was thinking
you cannot tell what drug he was on when it came to the promos, but the fact that he would get a little bit in there,
it's like he has a muscle spasm and he just can't get out of it.
The fact this guy was a catcher for the Cardinals for his minor league system, I can't imagine.
So his brother also played minor league. He just passed away
he passed away recently. Yeah. So, but the thing is, I was a big fan of Randy Savage. I became a really big fan of Mr. Perfect in the 90s. I liked him more than Bret Hart. I mean, because with Perfect
more charisma. That's not
I thought
charisma's off the chart with the Perfect.
Yeah, I thought the gimmick really worked for him. I remember going to WrestleMania 9 and
Las Vegas, you can see him on TV. He's that little spot.
It was back when I was tiny. I was about Z size. But I was 17 though, so that tells you a lot about me. I think it's gone off the rails since then.
Yes.
But I remember being backstage and meeting Randy Savage and Mr. Perfect. And I was flying on the airplane with Jimmy Hart, and Hulk Hogan was on the airplane and all that stuff, and just getting completely hooked on it. And then to see those guys and how they were, not knowing their true backstory at that time, because back then we weren't privy to behind the curtain.
That's the
like Z probably knows more about what goes on backstage in wrestling than I ever knew back then at his age.
Yes.
So
well, that's because they opened it. They've opened that up. I mean, you would never see anybody out of character back in the day in public. And I'll give you an example of that. How I know that is I met probably my favorite Intercontinental champion of all time, the Honky Tonk Man. I met him on more than one occasion, and this dude was in character at all time. Eating dinner, he was a Honky Tonk Man. When he was just talking with his friends, he was the Honky Tonk Man. You couldn't get this guy out of character unless you got him behind closed doors where no one but his family could see. That's how they kind of lived that persona back in the day.
And like for me personally, like when I'm around the fans at SOAR, I'm not who I really am there, because I mean Z gets the whole thing because he's been a chance to train with him and everything else. But like I had one kid come up to me and asked me for my autograph. I drew a straight line for him. He's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "You got to pay for the rest, kiddo." I mean, look, I portray that guy, right? And which kind of comes easy to me, really. But I mean,
yeah, I know. You kind of, well, forget what.
Yeah. So
my wife
but the thing, well, whatever. But look, clearly she's not.
You're playing the role perfect, by the way.
No, but the thing is, though, is that my theory about that whole thing, and Z, maybe you'll understand this, maybe you won't. Nobody wants to hear a magician show you how he does his magic trick. You want to see the trick and go, "Wow, I can't believe I just saw that." If you go backstage and you see, "Oh, he did that," okay. Then the next time he shows that to you, how impressed are you?
Not very.
Exactly. So to keep the imaginary door closed, yeah, it just is a thing to where, and I see a lot of guys, including on the local level, because they're friends with all their fans, right? Including the people that are going to supposedly boo them, but then they're taking pictures with them at shows, right? So I'm like,
well,
I mean, you're already telling them that what we do is BS.
Yeah.
That for all the injuries and all the miles and all the stuff that we put on our bodies to do this, for you to sit there and just kind of crap on it, because let's face it, we know what it really is, and you're going, well,
I got a picture with Evelyn Carter.
You get pictures of everybody, sir.
I got well. Hold
on. The angry wrestling event will be really pissed at you, sir.
I got about 5 with Z, but I
got one with Z.
Evelyn Carter, I took a picture with her. I say, "Can I get a picture?" And I knew this is how come I knew. See, different people have different philosophies of the wrestling, okay? And that being the wrestlers themselves. That woman in the picture gave me the dirtiest look. I'll find that picture. It's just, she kept in character with the picture. Which
you probably should have showered that day, sir.
No, I came from U-Haul. So there you go.
From U-Haul, so I mean, I had to sit next to the entire show.
I know, yeah, man. That U-Haul man killed me. By the way, Z, who is your favorite wrestler? I mean, you've seen your generation, the generation before, and the generation before that, because of the WWE network. You could go back and see all that stuff within the day. Who's your favorite wrestler? And you can give me top 3
top 3. Okay. Number 3, Shawn Michaels. I love Shawn Michaels. He's great. That one iconic moment where he stuck Vince McMahon in that trash can. That was yeah. 2, gotta go with Seth. I like Seth Rollins. his whole story and everything. Whenever he won the title at WrestleMania 31.
That's when he traded in the briefcase, right?
Mm-hmm. And then that one moment whenever he tried to go for a stomp on Orton, he tossed him up, hit him with that RKO. I can't really do it at RKO. I mean, here, there. But number one, and this is just current right now, Matt Riddle. I like Matt Riddle. His character, hang on, let me see if I can do a impression like I did with Gunther. Bro, no, I can't really do it. But it's whatever. His style of wrestling, his hard hitting, roundhouse kicks, his knees, and then his character. One thing about a wrestler, if that wrestler can be the best wrestler of all time, he can hit any move, he can take any move. If he doesn't have a good character, or he or she, if they don't have a good character, they're not gonna be anyone's favorite. If you have someone's character who's just like, oh, I won, or oh man, I lost, like no one's.
You mean Bret the Hitman Hart?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong by that at all.
I mean, but he was considered the
I'm so angry because all these wrestlers have cheated me over the years. I've been screwed by everybody. God, kill me.
Well, my top three is really, really weird. But my number 3 is Ernest the Cat Miller. Because I can respect anybody who can do James Brown and be a wrestler at the same time. That takes talent. Not only that, he's a good actor. Now he's been on my show 4 or 5 times. I love him.
A little bit of favoritism here. Go ahead.
And I grabbed him because he was one of my favorites, because I can't get my second favorite because he's unfortunately passed along, which is Ravishing Rick Rude. Ravishing Rick Rude was just what it is. And then as my boyhood, when I was a young man, it's actually a tie in reality. One was in the ring more, Dick the Bruiser, and you're going back Minnesota days and territory days and stuff. And believe it or not, when I was a boy, Bobby the Brain Heenan, but he wasn't known as the Brain. Bobby, what people don't know about Bobby Heenan is this guy could wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the best beg off. He was the best beg off in wrestling history, by the way. The best beg off that you could possibly get. He was known in the day as Pretty Boy Bobby Heenan back in the day. So, and matter of fact, it actually saddens me to see him just as he passed. What unfortunately cancer to a body is horrible.
Yeah, things really took a turn for the worse for him. That's for sure.
Oh, big time. But no, but obviously the best man. Listen, we got some great managers. Paul Heyman, great manager. He's no Bobby Heenan. I'm sorry. You would be. You probably be number 4.
I have champions.
Yeah,
but if Paul Heyman isn't up there, you are definitely not up there. You are about. Here's Paul Heyman is up here. You're like down here.
Like here, really. I mean,
I messed up. Listen, my bad. Paul Heyman's up here. You're down here. My bad. I messed that up.
Listen, I haven't ruined ECW either. Okay, so
is that what it was? He ruined it. I didn't.
Well, he had no money to pay the wrestler. That's on him. But I mean, as far as managers though, for me, really, Bobby Heenan, top.
Definitely.
Paul Heyman, number 2. And then for number 3, I can go Jimmy Hart because he had the gimmick with the megaphone and everything else. And he was in. I mean, think about it. He was there when Andy Kaufman and Jerry Lawler were going crazy. He was a big part of the Hogan thing.
40 years.
Yeah, he's still the same
doing
age.
It, setting up. I saw him in an indie thing setting up chairs one day.
Yeah, I hear Cornette's name being mentioned a lot, and he's kind of ruined me for a little bit because, he's more traditionalist, but he's also very much about the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express. And, I can't say, when that's your really big call to arms there, that didn't quite do it for me.
They say how many they could do because you think of managers, I think Slick, but he really only had 1 or 2 guys he had. back in the day. And Paul Bearer was pretty much just Undertaker, although great character, not necessarily great.
Well, but if you go back to Percy Pringle, he had a lot of people in World Class.
Well, yeah, but yeah,
same person, different character. So yeah.
I think of him as a couple of steps down from Heenan when he was doing Hercules and doing those other guys, the Barbarian and Ming, and well, he wasn't Ming, he had a name. Yeah. See, but that's the difference between Heenan and those other guys. Heenan's can get those lower guys, push them up, because let's be honest, if they didn't have the Heenan effect, you wouldn't even know who Hercules were. You wouldn't know who the Barbarian and them were.
If you remember back in the day, though, every hill had a manager.
Yes.
Every hill had a manager.
And they hardly talked.
Yeah, so, because they didn't have to. Because the manager would talk about how great they were. They say 5 or 6 words like Ivan Drago, and that'd be it, right? Well, but then then they go out and they cheat.
Yep. Well, think about this. Think about, when Paul Heyman was managing Brock Lesnar, Brock didn't talk.
Didn't need to.
Didn't need to. And he needs to find another manager. He's horrible on the mic. I swear to God he is.
He's better now than he was then.
Well, that's true. I'll give you that. He has improved on the mic and everything, but he still needs the mouthpiece to solidify who he is. But now they're trying to make him a baby face. It's just
not anymore. Not anymore.
After he beat the hell out of that guy the other night. Who was that?
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes. Yeah, he beat the crap out of him. But I will say Brock Lesnar has gotten better on the mic. That one show, it was on Raw whenever him and Bobby Lashley were going all at it. And he pulled that famous. Hang on, I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick.
So I remember he was
on the fly here.
Yeah,
it was the Bobby Who joke.
Oh yeah, Bobby Who, yeah. And they had that. Listen, when you got the fans yelling out what you're doing, you're getting over. And good, better, and different. I mean, it's all about fan reaction. If you're going to be a bad guy, you want the booze. If you're going to be the good guys, you want.
You know what though? I will say this. It was funny because at the last Source show, we came out there and Eli had brought a bunch of people that were sponsoring and everything else, and the crowd was nuts for us, which was weird for me, but whatever. And then I was able to take that and go, see, Sor, even your own audience is turned on you. So, like, you find that little heelish thing to go, you know what, you're still the a-hole because I'm always right and you're always wrong.
Paul Heyman is loved, but yet he's hated at the same time. It's really weird, about how his character has developed over the years. I mean, back from even before the ECW days, but when he hit ECW, he hit it hard and rough, and where he has and how he's had to adjust and adapt to be the Paul Heyman that you see today is incredible. If you go back and you kind of watch the progression of it.
I think he gets it now more than he did then.
I think he did. And more in the fact that as much as no one wants to admit it, the person that saved this guy's career is Vince McMahon. He wouldn't be where he is today without it. And, Vince may be like kind of a loon now today, but the direction of the WWE underneath Triple H, you've seen it after we saw the adios of Vince McMahon, although he's been rumored to be part of the Monday after WrestleMania.
That was one night, and that failed miserably. So,
well, it failed miserably, but he was trying to show off for the people who were going to buy it. So he still has the ultimate control in reality. What do you think of the product now compared to the product when it was now? Let's not throw any punches. Under Vince McMahon, this product was fantastic. But the last year, let's just take the last year of the WWE with Vince McMahon and what you've seen with Triple H. Which product are you liking better right now, Z?
Triple H. It's instantly Triple H. The match cards he puts together. I think that's most of what it is. The match cards. He could find 2 guys that were unknown, and he could put them in a match together, put in some stipulation or something, and they immediately become rivals, and then they cut off their rivalry, and then they either send one of them. If I was GM, I would send one of them. It's like tag division, and then the other to like a mid card title. But Triple H can put any two wrestlers together, and they'd have a good match.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing that's really helped him out, though, I don't know if you've caught, I don't know if you have caught it, but after these big events that they do the big post, they do the big post press conference show, and to have him be front and center and kind of explain to people why we're going this direction, why this is not what you think it is now, which is what it's an ongoing evolution story type thing.
Yeah,
I think because he's upfront about it, and it's kind of a breath of fresh air for a lot of people who aren't sitting there going, "What the hell is he doing now?" I mean, like when Cody didn't win the title from Roman Reigns, everybody's like, "Worst decision they ever made," or is it?
Yeah,
because the way I look at it is like this: Cody came back a year ago at WrestleMania, right? Then he was on track. Now, had he not torn his pec,
he may have won it this year.
He may have won it this year, but he didn't have the grind. He didn't have the road to WrestleMania like so many others did. He won the Rumble, great. He got a taste of it, then he realizes I need to do a lot more than what I just did here to win this damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
So now starts the big road to the next WrestleMania. First stop, Brock Lesnar. Oh shit. Pardon my language.
Is that going to be soon, or is that going to be SummerSlam?
That's Backlash right there.
Is it? I didn't realize that.
As Backlash in Puerto Rico. So
I think, they got to build that with Cody Rhodes going and basically running the gambit to get back to Roman Reigns for next year at WrestleMania.
And Brock Lesnar's going to last, maybe 2 months, maybe 3. I mean, at least get you to SummerSlam probably.
Yeah, I think Brock Lesnar, I'm glad he didn't lose that match to Omos. We talked about it on this show. No. And it was like, I'm glad that didn't happen because I think that takes away from his dominance.
But you know what though? He came out of that match. Omos still looked strong.
There's no question.
Even with the loss, he looked strong.
And that's what they needed to do. And then they can build up on that on Omos more so than putting Brock Lesnar down. You want to see a Brock Lesnar go, I think, if you're going to see a Brock Lesnar lose and maybe not see him after SummerSlam, you got to put him with an athletic dude that is strong and physically better than what Omos unfortunately brings to the table right now because of how tall he is and ring inexperience he has. It's got to be someone like, if it could be Bobby Lashley, even though it's not, because we've seen that 5 times and you don't see it, but it's got to be someone like a Bobby Lashley to be able to go in there and try to dominate the guy and make it look good while he does it.
Z, I got a question for you, buddy. What do you think about Omos?
Overrated. Overrated. Wow. I'm sorry. He is.
Did you watch the show 2 weeks ago when I said that? Maybe that's it.
Well, see, I'm sorry. No, Omos, he's not that guy. He's a Vince McMahon guy. I'll go with that. He's a Vince McMahon guy.
Okay.
How tall is he here? He's like 7'4", right?
7'2", 7'3".
7'3".
And then like 400 something pounds.
400 pounds.
Yeah. So that's the thing. He's a Vince McMahon guy. All he's going to do is, he'll have someone come off the ropes, right? And then just boom. And then just big boots. He's not going to go to the top rope and hit like an elbow drop or something. He's strictly to ground moves. And that is not what we need.
What he's saying is right. It doesn't need to. He can't do it right now. I'm going to tell you right now, if you want an athletic move really in reality coming from Omos that will give you the oh shit moment in a wrestling match, you're not going to get that from an Omos. You're going to get it from Bobby Lashley because Bobby Lashley is the big guy that can make that move. That's why he needs more training before you can push him off as the next big thing, because right now he is not ring ready to take over that role.
See, here's the thing. I've heard Kevin Nash and I've heard The Undertaker both say Omos is a guy you need to look at. For a big man, for what he does, he's limited right now. He's very, very limited right now. He's still green. So once he figures it out, That's the thing. He still has to figure it out. Sometimes you don't fit. Just because you're 7'3" and you're 400 pounds, don't mean you have it.
I agree.
Okay? You have to find it, and I think he will find it eventually. May not be with WWE. It won't be with AEW. That's for damn sure. But
Yeah.
he will definitely try. He will definitely find it. If he doesn't find it, guess what? Hollywood can call him too. Okay, he'd be the monster in movies.
Exactly. And just as we were talking about Dom going down to NXT,
Yeah, need it.
Yes.
Dom needs it, but I think no, he doesn't need NXT. But what he can do is take that NXT and show a dominance down there in order to work his way back up. What I guess I'm saying, he's not SmackDown ready, and he is not Raw ready. In reality,
time out. He is one of the top heels in the business right now.
Who?
Dom.
Oh no. You're absolutely right. But I'm talking just about wrestling moves. Knowing that he's a horrible wrestler.
WWE
he's a great entertainer.
Listen,
and
that's
he's
what
a
they
horrible
want.
wrestler.
That's what they want. They don't want great wrestlers.
Well, no. I think that's the difference. Because what I think they want to do is if they don't use the Rey Mysterio influence, they want to use the Eddie Guerrero experience. And Guerrero was great in the frickin' ring. Right. And that's what they need to do in order to push Dom to a greatness, that and Eddie Guerrero, even for that matter, even close to what his daddy is.
But here's the thing. He's not going to do that in NXT because in NXT, everybody's trying to do the same damn thing.
Oh, what? Man, I think we're just taking different roads. You're right. And so am I. That's what he needs. He needs to go down to that road. He needs to work on his precision in his moves and what he does in the ring. Because even with a Hall of Famer, his daddy, he messed up 5 moves that were noticeable. And when I say noticeable, I noticed them. I'm usually pretty good at ignoring even when they're messed up. They were just too much bitch slapped in your face on a main stage at WrestleMania. And he needs to go down and he needs to develop his craft.
He should. They should put him in a rivalry with Carmelo Hayes.
I love it. And I think and not only that, he can take one of the Judgment Day guys with them.
Yes.
Listen. What's his nose lived in NXT?
Damian Priest.
No.
Finn Balor.
Matter of fact, and I read this somewhere. Balor was, listen, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here in NXT. I live here. I want to be with my family. He only started hitting the road after COVID, so they can get the people back into the fan. And he's still stuck. Sooner or later, he's going to go back to the NXT just so he could stay and be relevant.
But it's my question. I mean, NXT is still considered the minors for WWE.
Say what?
They're still considered the minor league for the WWE. Nobody
absolutely, and that's where Dom needs to be.
I mean,
now he does.
Listen. What Dom is going through right now is on the job training. But speaking of Trish Stratus, we'll talk about the worst turn ever on TV. Like we all saw it coming.
Oh my god! It was embarrassing. I felt bad how bad it was.
It was so badly constructed.
And Becky Lynch couldn't save it. It was so bad that even Becky Lynch couldn't save it.
That's when it's bad.
Well, the bad thing is Becky didn't turn the right way to let it happen. So I mean, the thing is, it was a poorly executed turn all the way around.
Yes.
But here's the other thing.
The timing was awful.
But here's the thing. Go back and watch that wrestle if you want to. Go back and watch the 6-woman match that Becky, Trish, and Lita had. You can tell the difference between Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus wrestling wise because two different things. And Trish and Lita were this is like if Sensational Sherry were alive and get back in the ring today. Two different beasts.
Yeah.
And clearly one has surpassed the other. So
without question.
So I think you're going to carry a feud with Trish and Becky going into, they're saying SummerSlam, but then I'm hearing they're going to be ended quickly because of how bad the turn was. I think it'd been better. I think it'd been better if Lita was behind it all.
Oh,
You should start writing for the WWE, because if that comes up, you're going to be able to take credit for that. I think that and I'm going to give you the credit. I was sitting there watching that match, going, "What if this is some kind of gang up on Lynch?"
Yeah,
from old school to new school,
exactly.
And then they battle it out and go in. It's
because I see it because now you've torn Lita and Trish apart, and they're buddies, right?
Right.
What person are we going to see a match of those two now? No.
Well, no, yeah, exactly. But I would.
But if they work together,
do the tag team with Lita and Trish, that's going to put asses in seats, and that's what they want for SummerSlam.
If anything, it'll be a draw. It'll be a spectacle to watch.
Yep.
It'll be a great match because obviously Trish and Lita can't go anymore. But I mean, it would be a spectacle to watch.
Well, they can go, but they can't go to the level of what Becky Lynch and even a Bailey or anybody else can do right now.
Becky and Bailey,
so they got to bring down their game to make that match look good.
They're not good at that. They're not good at that.
No, they're not.
They go at one speed.
Exactly. And that's.
Look, it's like being on the highway. You got two people in the left-hand lane going 35 miles an hour, and everybody's trying to go surpass them.
Absolutely. All right, guys, this is what we got to do. We're at the halfway point. I got to take care of some sponsor business. We're going to take a 5.5 minute break for sponsors, and when we come back, we got a whole laundry list of things to talk about. We're going to kind of shift the motion from wrestling and take it into actual football and maybe just a little bit of basketball as well. And we're going to do that on the other side when we come back here on the Couch Potato Sports Show. It is, that being said, it's our Sunday morning tradition that continues on not 1, not 2, but 14 years in the making here on the Couch Potato Sports Show. And if I could find the darn commercials right there. No, that's not it either.
Hey, Z, while you're at it, turn your phone sideways.
Yeah, but it won't work. There's a setting. I don't know how you do that, but I wouldn't know how to do the setting.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I might be able to find it.
Yeah. So, but anyway, you can keep it that way. You don't have to worry about that. But maybe he just wants to see your wall. So we'll take the quick break.
Listen, Sonny's willing to pay you top dollar to have you switch it. Okay.
There you go. Yeah, top dollar. By the way, awesome job so far, Z. And we're going to kick it. We're going to get it on the other side. We're going to get into what we are here. We're going to be talking some sports here on the other side. And here on the Couch Potato Sports Show.
What the hell?
Yeah, something like that, right? All right, cool. We'll see you on the other side.
At Wesson General Contracting Incorporated, we're your one-stop shop for all your general contracting needs. We are locally owned and with over 20 years of experience, so roofing, gutters, sidings, fence staining, painting, foundation problems, or roof damage are no problems at all. Give us a call at 214-200-5588. That's 214-200-5588. Wesson General Contractors.
The prospect of retirement can be exciting and scary at the same time. At Nest Egg Wealth Advisors, we have found many people either approaching or currently in retirement fail to truly maximize some of the benefits offered to them, primarily Social Security. What is it? How does it work? It's simply not a benefit that you start receiving at age 62. Because these decisions are so important, my firm has assembled an informational packet on Social Security. If you would like a complimentary copy of Social Security Maximization, please give our office a call today at 972-412-6064 or visit us on the web at nesteggadvice.com. At the Jerry Bullet Training Center, we are a motivated team of coaches with the mindset of helping you achieve and reach your highest goals. Having developed and trained over 100 Division I athletes as well as Division II athletes, even professional athletes, the Bullet team definitely has the knowledge and mindset to take you to the next level. Check out our new 22,000 square foot facility and 3,000 square foot weight room, along with 4,500 square feet of outdoor turf and covered training area, along with football and soccer field. Contact Melvin Bullitt at 214-326-7853 or visit their facility just outside of Waterview at 8900 Princeton Road in Rowlett. Being taken for a ride? Check out Costo Insurance, serving Texans since 1981. Bundle your home, auto, or business insurance and save a ton. Costo Insurance on the corner of Main Street and Rowlett Road, where we make insurance fun. Or check us out on the web at CostoInsurance.com, where we always have the coffee pot on.
Yeah, but is it fresh?
There is nothing that beats good home-cooked barbecue. Since 1941, Dickey's Barbecue has done all the cooking and you take all the credit. Come see us today at our Rowlett location, 5701 President George Bush Turnpike, Suite 110 in the Target Shopping Center. Whether you want to eat in or take it home, we will fix you up. For lip-smacking, rib-tickling, knee-slapping, foot-stomping, great-tasting barbecue, come see us at Dickey's Barbecue today.
Here at Fit Body Boot Camp, located in Saxe, the solution is here. Fast, long-lasting weight loss results and the healthy lifestyle you need to keep them. The key to your fat loss success is our signature afterburn workouts, as well as support and motivation from our world-class coaches, and an easy-to-follow nutrition program to help you keep the fat off. Visit your local Fit Body Boot Camp in Saxe today to see the difference for yourself, or give us a call at 214-463-3005. That's 214-463-3005. Fit Body Boot Camp, Saxe. Saxe Ice House is a non-smoking craft beer and beer pub located in the heart of Saxe. The Ice House was opened to provide a friendly, clean, and female-friendly environment. Saxe was lacking a place for service industry, date nights, and girls' nights, as well as happy hours. Excellent service and top-notch food are our priority. On Tuesday, we offer 79-cent wings, as well as half-price burgers on Mondays. So check us out at the Ice House, located at 6501 Highway 78 in Saxe, or give us a call at 469-304-1550, or check us out on the web at SaxeIcehouse.com. Go Mustangs! Ever want to know why Bill and I look so great on our broadcast? Check out K West Designs on Facebook to find out why. Check out all the samples that Kelly has up so you can see, especially if you have a special occasion that needs something original or design or something that says, this is our moment. Check out K West Designs on Facebook or give Kelly a call at 469-601-5856. That's 469-601-5856. K West Designs. Rich's Performance Muffler and Auto Care has provided complete auto repair services to the Wiley area since 2003. Whether it's alignments, brakes, air conditioning, muffler service, suspension, front-end auto services, or in my case, a Cadillac converter, Rich does it all. Stop by and see him at 603 Commerce Street, Suite 203 in Wiley, or give him a call at 972-461-0776. That's 972-461-0776. You'll be happy you called Rich instead of anybody else.
All right, we are back here on the Comedy Sports Show, along with Z. He's kind of absent right now, and Trey Mack. I'm Sonny Clark, the hardest working man in sports radio. Oh, he had to put the old hat back on. You have to see that being said, talk a little bit about this network, man. Talk about this right here. What day is this? I can't even see it. I'm
May 6th.
May 6th. May 6th.
May 6th, Saturday. Well, as you can see on the poster, my tag team, the Trap City Playmakers. Who, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, Chris Irvin, the guy with the sunglasses on my team. You know who his uncle is, don't you?
No.
That's Michael Irvin.
It's Michael Irvin. I did know that.
Yeah. So we're taking on the Poor Excuses for Cocaine Bears attire.
Where'd these guys come from? To be honest, I haven't heard of them.
You know what? They've been throwing on us, and we understand they get around quite a bit. But once again, I mean, we can paint our faces up too, and we can wear fur to the ring, but that's gimmick infringement. We're not going to King Prime. So, these guys want to come in there and try to take our titles away. they're going to find out that, we are a combined unit. This is not just those two guys. I mean, you got myself, you got Eli, and you got the Traverse City Playmakers. And you know what? If there was ever a sign of true teamwork, that was when Eli won the junior heavyweight championship this past weekend, or a couple weekends ago, when it was a total team effort on all of our parts to finally send Mowabi back to where he needs to be, and that's the bottom of the card. So, and of course, you got Dante Smiley defending his OIWA International Championship against Dean Fleming. The Diamond Queen, the one who gave you an ugly picture, she's taking on
so great.
Ruth Yellow Smiles. So hopefully they will have a good match, and the other match will take place. Well, I know some sort of unknown guy from Tennessee that is about 5'5", named Lucy. I don't know, it's something Justice. I don't know. Anyway, him and his grandfather are coming to town. They're going to want to take on. They're probably going to take on us with the junior heavyweight title, because he sees the success that we have and he wants to get some of that too. But it's not
you got the hookup on the tickets.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let me get some. I'll take some free tickets.
You know what? See, I would, but you want to challenge me to a match, and you know what?
Add it on the card. Add it on the card.
Well, then why don't I give you a ticket?
Because I need to hop. I need to be a fan for most. But I mean, it would be main event caliber because of me. Totally not because of you. And I don't want none of your shenanigans with your lousy tag partners.
I'm telling you, I'd pay to see this. If this gets on the card, I'm going to be there just so I can see this.
My shenanigans?
You got it. Yeah, your shenanigans.
My shenanigans?
And he's not bullshit
at
all.
My shenanigans.
Yeah,
because I know
on the mic are bad enough. Never mind, put you in the damn ring with it.
First of all, how old are you again? 13?
13.
Kathy, I mean, obviously you'll get there because your mom will buy the tickets. That's fine.
You have to sign a waiver though, Z, that he can hit a minor. So
he won't be able to hit me. He will not be able to hit me if I'm moving too fast for you.
Oh, this is not just where you stand up and slap each other with tortilla. You have to catch him in order to hit him with the tortilla. Is that it?
I mean, we could do that. I
offered you a place on the network, and you want to sit here and smack me with a tortilla? Really?
Yes, indeed I do.
Man, a heel in the making. This is great. I just love it. So make sure you check it out. May 5th.
You got a lot of anger issues there, kid. I'd be angry too if I was a Saints fan.
Oh, okay. Hold on. What is his team, Sonny?
His team is the Dallas Cowboys, which he should be embarrassed. He should be embarrassed.
Hey, when was the last time, when was the last time y'all made it to the conference championship? 30 years almost?
It's been a while. But let me ask you a question. How many titles do the Saints have?
Not as many as y'all, but at least we're 1-0. We're one of the only 4 teams in the NFL to be undefeated in the Super Bowl.
Well, when you only get there once, that's not much to talk about. But I get your point because Joe Montana is 4-0 in the Super Bowl. Yeah. Just saying, kind of.
but here's the thing. I'm not a bandwagon jumper. I'm not saying Z is. I'm sure he grew up loving the Saints. That's great. But there are a lot of bandwagon fans that all of a sudden they see Drew Brees is throwing up some good numbers. I'm a Drew Brees fan. Brett Favre had that same effect with a lot of people. I was with the Cowboys when they were bad in the 80s.
Well, no. They're bad now.
They're not. They were in the 80s. But I mean, the thing is, though, is that
before Dak Prescott got there, they were pretty damn bad.
Yeah, they're pretty bad then. I was there. And I love Danny White, but I mean, clearly he went to three NFC Championship games and lost all 3 of them. Oh, he does have a ring though. But
I don't know if Z knows this. But Danny White used to be the coach of the Arizona Rattlers. He won not 1, not 2, but 3 championships in the NFL.
Wow.
Yeah. And by the way, I remember when the Dallas Desperados were playing.
Yes.
The Arizona Rattlers. And
what a great logo.
And Danny White was come to town. And I had bought me a Danny White jersey to wear it to the stadium. People are looking at me going, "Where do you get that?" I'm like, eBay, because you can't get them by anywhere else.
You can't buy that at the store anymore.
But no, I was a huge Danny White fan growing up, so obviously, I have my reasons for that. I got to watch Sonny Dorsett, and I got to watch Herschel Walker come in back in the day.
Worst trade in NFL history.
But it worked because it brought us Emmitt Smith.
I'm talking on the other side.
No, I don't care about the other side. I don't care about the other side. But I mean, look, are things bad? Are things bad in my neck of the woods? Yeah, they are bad. Okay, because we have an owner like Vince McMahon who won't go away.
Yes.
So, until he.
Make them extra large.
Unless you make tacos, we have a reason for those. Wow.
I think I'm gonna ask my mom real quick to bring me the tortillas so you can see what you're gonna get slapped with, and laying out on the mat while I pin you for more than 3, probably 5, Big E style.
Look, even your mom was a Dallas Cowboy fan, so your mom's got good taste. All right.
My mom was a Cowboy.
Bill Bates was the man, by the way. You ain't wrong about that.
He ain't lying. He's not lying.
The cool thing about Bill Bates and him and Reggie White, they were both at University of Tennessee at the time. And when I had my car accident, when I had broken my head in 100 places when I was 6, see, in your year when to slap me with a tortilla, pretty good for you. But anyway, and while I was laying in the hospital dying, both Reggie White and what is that? Tortillas?
That's flour tortillas.
Okay,
we need to get Walmart to sponsor this one.
Okay, well, you know what? Make some hamburger meat, get some cheese, and we'll do some tacos. It's great. But anyway, now I'm hungry. But
you want some? Here, you can come through the screen and get one.
Yeah, he can bitch slap you with them.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. You're talking a lot of smack right now, I swear.
Great value. The great value tortillas. These are great value for slapping only you in the face.
Why can't you get better tortillas than great value?
Because that's all you're worth. I knew you were going to say it, and I was ready for it. You're only great value worth.
I'm worth top quality tortillas. What the hell's that?
I got more.
How you gonna do with those?
Oh,
these
2 of them with the small one. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, it's gonna be like rapid fire.
Man, you need to get a hold of Mo.
Why?
Set this up. I would pay to see it. I would pay to see it. So anyway,
he doesn't want to because he's too scared, but that's okay. That's okay.
No, I'm not scared of nothing. I just don't understand why tortillas got to be a part of this.
Because how else are you going to do it? A wrestling match, all you got to do is lay on him, and he knows that. So he's got a fighting chance with the tortilla.
He could try and lay on me, but I would definitely like move out the way, very easily.
Snake out from underneath it.
All right.
Well, speaking of big men, okay. Speaking of big men, the NBA's got a big man that's working. A couple of big men right now, and right now, those that don't know about the history of the show,
I'm pretty sure they're all taller than us.
Yeah, it's something like that. Really. Anyway, go back in the history of the show. Back to Cuervo and I, when this guy was drafted, I'll tell you, we thought he was going to be a bust. And guess what? Right now, so far, he's not only a bust, but he's a bust now mentally up on top of it. You want to talk about a mental midget right now? You got Zion out here. Physically, I'm fine. Then why aren't you playing basketball? Listen, and I'm going to say this with all due respect. You don't need much of a mental forte to play in the NBA. I'm sorry. I'm missing this. I don't understand what Zion is all about. Well, no, I understand what Zion's all about.
It's a players' league. It's a players' league. That's all it is.
It's not a players' league. It's a money league. And
it's a players' money league. I mean, they're the ones controlling all the stuff. The owners have no say in this whatsoever anymore.
And that's the bad part of the business. I mean, in reality, they need to be talking to this young man, say mentally, stop being a mental midget. Why don't you grow some stones and go out there and play basketball? I mean, this is what we're paying. First of all, this is what we're paying you to do.
Yeah, okay? and he's sitting right.
Huh?
He's sitting on his ass and they're paying him, right?
Since January 2nd.
I'll do that.
Yeah, hell yeah. But that's the business portion of it, and that's my problem with it. This is a business move. This has nothing to do with anything. Now, that having been said, I don't know where the Pelicans are when it comes to their chances in the playoffs. Are they in the playoffs? Are they in the one-game playoff like the Lakers later on today?
If they're not in the playoffs, then he can sit home all he wants.
Yeah, huh?
If they're not in the playoffs, he can sit home all he wants.
But that's the difference between most people and entitled spoiled brats, and I'll say that to where he is today. He just thinks that he's better than everybody else, and he can sit at home. And this is a problem. There needs to be a change in the mentality of the young basketball player and or any basketball players, because I haven't seen anybody that's not a mental midget in the NBA since Kobe. After Kobe was done, we get what we got today.
Well, first of all, the Pelicans aren't even in the playoffs, so he can sit home all he wants.
But they could have been. From my understanding, they could have been.
Yeah, they lost to the Thunder, so they're out.
Yeah, so they could have been, and no show. After they gave him all this money, and listen, we talked about it when it came out. I forgot what the number is, but it was ridiculous. Everybody said he was worth the money. This guy hasn't been worth the penny that he has been. And now I don't know. I look at Z, and I don't see a Z in right Zion. I don't see a Z in Zion.
I see Z right there.
That's what I'm saying. When I look at Z, I don't see a Zion. I see a guy that would be out on the basketball court if that's what they were paying him to do. I guess I don't know. Z, looking at what you see, I mean, you saw it. What's your take up on Zion out of the Pelicans?
If he's getting paid money, he's got to play. That's my take on him. I mean, it's kind of like Michael Thomas. Is it a coincidence that they're both in New Orleans?
I didn't even think about that. at all.
Hey, New Orleans got some good food. Okay, I can see where they want to sit on.
I love Cajun. I love Cajun. Gator. I love Gator. Gator's probably the best Cajun food.
Like, unbelievable. But this seems to be something that is relatively going on now. And that's one of the reasons why I look at old school compared to new school in pretty much everything now, because the mentality of the sport, the mentality of the players that are playing the sports, and then you have to add on, you got to find a coach that can deal with this nonsense. But if you can't get up to try to make a playoff spot, you're mentally that messed up. I'll tell you what you need to do. You need to get your ass out on the court so you can get your head mentally back into the game. Sitting on the bench isn't going to do it, Trey. If you're going to get into something and start doing it, you know, to get out of your mental way, you got to get out on the court.
Listen, I understand that completely, because as a fan, that's what I want to see, the players that the team is paying to get out there and start playing. But think from the players' standpoint, he ain't happy being there. He can sit there and still get paid. Kind of like, you know, I hate to say it, but it's kind of like everybody who was in WCW when the WWE bought him out. They all sat home and got paid until it's time to come back to work. And all he's doing right now, and once again, I want him to play. If he's going to be the elite player he thinks he should be, he needs to be out there playing. Kobe Bryant would not do that.
Absolutely.
Michael Jordan wouldn't do that.
Yep.
You know, I mean, the greats get out there and play. The greats fight like hell to get out there and play. I mean,
I'll even put it to the extent LeBron has a little bit of that sometimes.
Yeah.
And I can't stand him either.
Yeah, right. But like recently now appointed Hall of Famer Dirk Nowitzki. He fought like hell to get on the court his final year.
He's never the same.
But he couldn't do it. I mean, he physically couldn't do it, but he wanted to be out there.
But here's the deal: the difference between Zion and some of the other guys that are out there. Dirk Nowitzki put that team on his shoulders to win that championship that they did. He was never the same. You want to talk about a guy who left it on the court? That might be the definition of a guy. Listen, I think Dirk Nowitzki is the most overrated basketball player in NBA history. Yeah, I said it.
Well, you can be wrong.
But yeah, I could be wrong. But you've seen what he did. And right now, we don't see what Zion can or will do because he won't do it. And somebody needs to tell him. And the Pelicans need to be that team. Okay, you're cleared to play basketball. Why aren't you playing basketball? In the day and age where everybody's worried about everybody's mental condition, I'm still paying you millions of dollars to play basketball. At least get out there and try to dig it and find it and see if you can get back into it. Sitting on the bench, he does the team, he does himself, and everybody around him no good. It's a bad influence on what other players see.
Well, then at that point, that's the owner's fault. The owner can sit there and go, fine, you can't be out here then.
I agree. Fully agree. Sitting on the bench, being a Zion right now, is a detriment to your team. I'd send him home. And I know no one wants to do that. They did it to they did it to Derek Carr, right? When he was the Raiders. Last 2 weeks, everybody were on the Raiders' ass, but they sent him. You're not going to be part of the team. Go home. I don't see anything wrong with it. Everybody else gets mad about it. And if they did that, there would be an uproar from Zion's camp. Zion's camp. Whoa, I gotta go home. Well, you're not gonna play. Go home. So it's a double-edged sword here in this, or whether you're a fan, owner, or the player. Triple-edged sword. All around, it's not a good thing at all. As far as so, I guess I'll ask a young person, that being Z, what do you think the future holds for Zion after what we're seeing here right now, within the past couple of weeks with this guy?
I see a good chance of him possibly getting cut for just deciding not to play.
He gets cut though. The team still owes him that money though.
And that's the problem. So or cut him or trade him and get rid of him,
right?
Because he's evidently not doing the team any good right now, and he's shown that he won't in hard times show up like a Michael Jordan, like, as much as I hate to say it, LeBron James. Listen, say whatever you want, and hater LeBron James that I am, I also recognize that he does show up when he has to, and crybabies his way through it, but at least he shows up and he plays. So you're going to have to get the greatness from somewhere. Where it's going to come and what kind of influence it's going to be. When the Pelicans drafted him, they wanted him to be that guy. He's not that guy. They're going to have to go out and get another guy out there and see if they can, get hit. What's the old saying? Shit or get off the pot is basically what needs to happen over there as far as the Pelicans are concerned in Zion. It's a tough situation for the Pelicans. And again, they were up for that one that one and done playoff spot, and they had a chance at it, but this guy wouldn't even hit the court. That alone, Z, I think, is a good reason you need to shop and see what you can get for this guy. And whatever you're going to get, it's going to be more than what he's been able to put out on the court. And who knows, you can maybe get 2 guys and a draft pick.
Yep, I agree with that.
It's craziness. So Zion, where he is, where his mental faculties are, going into next year is going to be a big story as far as basketball is concerned. Now, speaking of Bron, I call him Bron. Yes, it's a jab. Yeah, I feel good about saying that. This guy drives me insane. I won't put him on the Zion level at all. But interestingly enough, when you take a look at who players are, and I know a lot of the players, I don't know how good they are because I don't watch it a lot, but I know who Dylan Brooks is. Jenna. Yes, I know who this guy is. He comes out and says he wouldn't mind playing LeBron in a 7-game series. The legacy, that's the legacy there. First time back in the playoffs, knock him out right away. See, this is the guy. See, this is why I like the guy already. He is the epitome of finding who the guy is and taking them out of the game, taking them out of the playoff. It's called killer instincts, and that's what the NBA and a lot of the young players are lacking nowadays. This is a good thing. Are you going to watch the game? I have 2 TVs. I'm going to watch the Lakers. I'm going to watch the USFL. I'm going to watch both of them. Probably more, especially if we see LeBron and the Lakers get kicked out of this game today, would be great. Looking at where LeBron is in his career, Z. Now, you've watched it all your life, as when you start watching and understanding the game. It's going to be top. As much as I won't want to admit, he's going to be a top 6 NBA basketball player of all time. Have we seen? Are we going to see much more of LeBron? Let's just say this: how many years do you think you'll see LeBron James in uniform, whether it's the Lakers or another basketball team?
2 or 3 more seasons. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna. It really depends. If he's getting big money, he'll play longer. But I mean, I could see Cap 3, at most 4 years. At most 4.
See, I would have said 5, but he can get out at 4.
I don't see that at all. I see 3 max, maybe with the opportunity to play with his son wherever it is. If I'm not mistaken, he's a free agent after the end of this year. I don't know the specifics, but I think he's a free agent. His son is going to declare for the NBA draft. And then I think LeBron will head over to the same team where Bronny will go and get that all set and ready to go. By the way, look at this. I'm not sure if he's remembering the name. Are you thinking Zion is Greg Ulstertag? Maybe
or Lamar Odom.
But I'm not sure who the reference to Greg Odom is. I do, but I don't. I don't see how it compares. Hey, Rick, you want to come on the show? I'll bring you on and you can explain yourself. I'll bring you on. If you got a camera and a mic, we'll bring on anybody. Anybody that'll try to come in and do it, we'll do it and try it out there. But 5 more seasons, LeBron with all the miles this guy got on. I don't see 5. I see 3 max and maybe 2 seasons with his son wherever he's going to end. I see 2 years. That's what I say.
I mean, honestly though, I mean, he's still in great shape, right? So
is he?
I mean, I don't think the legs are.
I mean, the guy's got to take a break. The guy plays basketball. He plays 40 minutes of basketball a day, in a game, and he needs time off. They give him a lot of time off so he can rest. Maybe he would make it longer if it's like every other game, or going up a stretch against a bunch of scrub teams that he can get some rest on. I don't know. I just see. He came out of high school, guys. So before he even steps out on the court, that's 4 years. So the 4 years that he would play in the NBA or in college, he's going to be when he came out, they mostly stayed for 4 years.
Not many NBA players play a full 4 years in college.
Not anymore. But when Bron was going to be a college boy, he would have probably played for 4 years on the college level before he hit the NBA. But the problem is ESPN got those cameras in those high school gymnasiums, and that was it.
Well, it also depends, if the college he played for. I mean, with the way college is now with the NIL, he'd probably make a lot more money.
And that's another monstrosity that's going on in sports today.
You know what? Honestly, I'm actually pro NIL because why should a college kid who play for a team that's making millions of dollars TV revenue and everything else and do it for free?
See, that's the part I've always argued. No one's ever understood. They get paid close to $60,000 a year, and on the college level, paying for their school. Never mind their living facilities and everything else. That's $60,000 a year. But and now, granted, it's not the millions of dollars that they can make someplace else, but it's not like they're not getting a benefit. Now, if they choose to graduate from college with basket weaving, that's on that's only on them.
Sonny, here's the thing though. Let's say you have a tight end in University of Texas, okay?
Where?
University of Texas. You have a tight end, he's playing, he's signed 4 years, he's getting college room board, everything's great. blows out his knee. He's done. They take his scholarship away after that.
I'm not the one that writes the rules for this,
right.
but they were doing that years. But this is nothing new.
So you're right. But back then, players are getting paid illegally through other channels. Now they're getting paid legally. So I say if you are, first of all, not every player gets paid. They only go after those who can make money for their brand.
Right.
Okay. So
just like any business should
so,
do.
So if you're a kicker for any other college team, you probably aren't getting paid unless you got a soccer deal going on there. Okay. So I say if you have the means to do this, that's great. The thing is, though, is that maybe the NIL money should take the place of scholarship. Then the college saves money on
bullshit.
Player, on that
bullshit.
Okay,
basically,
sure, okay. And then we have a 13-year-old kid in the studio. You want to see curse words? That's on you. But I mean,
like he hasn't heard.
You thought I was a hill.
From the wrestling,
and you thought I was a hill. But he's like, I've heard worse. But I don't want to know where you. I don't know where you. I don't know what don't not want to know.
Now I know who he's talking about, by the way. But
yeah. So, look, I'm all for it because if it can, I mean, if for a lot of college players, they're done after college.
Mm-hmm.
So you go play for a major college, right? Notre Dame or UC or USC or University of Texas or Miami or whoever. You play there for 4 years. You got your room and board and everything else, but let's face it, that's not enough to live off of. You go out there, you blow out your knee, you risk a lot more than just injury out there, because let's face it, football is a violent sport. No matter how, I know you like to sit there and go, they're catering to players, they're overprotecting them these days. Dude, Tony Dorsett can't even tie his shoes right now. Okay, head injuries are a thing. So if these players can get a little extra money, still playing a sport they're going to play on the pro level, but if they can make a little extra money in the process of doing that, I see no problem with that. Especially when that college is making millions of dollars on top of that.
Right. That's the business. As I'm saying, there's a difference between business.
Mm-hmm.
Every business makes the same decisions all day long. Now, granted, they're playing in a more physical game or whatever, or what can end up happening more so than people just sitting on their ass like me on the phone all day long. I completely get what you're saying, but at the same time, I guess I don't know.
Hey.
Z.
Hey,
what is your opinion of what is happening as far as the paying of players on the high school level and now definitely on the college level? What's going on? Do you see it as a good or do you see it as a bad? And talking about being the newest school in town, what do you think?
Remember,
could you repeat that question just like a little bit more? It kind of cut out.
Well, my question is what do you think about kids on the high school level making money to play games and kids on the college level making money to play this game? Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? What's your take? You're the newest school in town. What do you think?
Z, remember one thing, Z. The network is willing to invest in
don't listen dollars
to him. In your athletic career, sir. Okay?
All right, here's my thing. If you're playing high school ball and you're getting paid, I don't really think so. Okay, depends though. If you're getting paid money and you're like a 5-star recruit out of high school, I could see it. College, I definitely see it. You're almost at the pros, and you need something to start off with.
Okay. I think I like this kid. I like this kid. No pay for high school.
I say the same thing. You hate me. He says the same thing. And
no. So I guess then the question is do you think there's more corruption today in that compared to where it was before? All I'm saying is you just opened up Pandora's box. You already had, corruption going on as far as college sports, i.e. high school, because you can't tell me the high school players aren't getting paid somewhere, some way, somehow. on a level that no one can see per se on paper. So, but when you see what's going on and the way when they opened this up to where high school players were going to get paid, Pandora's box is open and it can go any route. And the corruption is going to be where you'll see kids getting their grades changed, not, and not showing up to school. And I not mean physically, I mean mentally and ready to go to school to get their diploma because they know they're going to get bought out of it. They're entitled punks, most of them, when they get to that level, and you can't bring them back from that. And then they grow up to be miserable human beings. Yes, Sonny Clark just said that the most miserable human beings probably were the ones that were babied and just having things handed to them when they were growing up doing what they do. So
it's funny though. When we talk about the NIL, we're always alluding to college football, right?
Right.
College basketball does it too.
Oh no! I mean, not just football. I'm talking about all the sports.
I mean, football draws the biggest money,
of course,
and that's why we always go to that. But look at college. If you look at the women's college basketball, they can make more money in college doing it that way than they can in WNBA.
Yes,
how sad is that? How sad is that?
That's what Richard. Who's this? You know him?
Richard?
Yeah.
You know Richard.
Do I know Richard?
Yeah. I'm offended you don't know who Richard is.
Huh?
He's a big fan of yours, sir, and he's watching your show.
I
got you, bro.
I thought it was a Z. I'm lucky to remember my name. Never mind anybody else. Don't you? But
Richard, I got you, bro.
Yeah. So
you're right about Deion Sanders. He's doing wonders for Colorado right now.
Yeah, I got my own opinion about that.
You can hate Deion Sanders, the human being.
You want to talk about a certified punk? That would be Deion Sanders.
Okay.
Yeah, I said it.
The thing is, in college football, he's won.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we're gonna do this. All right. Fine. We're gonna take a little left off of the menu there, Z. So just so that it happens a lot on this show. I got news for you. I don't think Deion Sanders has done jack gravy for what college football is all about, even on the level that he did. He went there and did 2 years, big whoop-de-doo. Now, guess what? The level of college he was coaching on in Jackson State, we're not even talking about it anymore, but it was no great big surprise to me because Deion Sanders has been about Deion Sanders all day long. Now, I'm not saying that's bad per se for Deion, but anybody that wants to put a hook into Deion and say he's good for this or he's good for that, it's only good for that as long as he's there. Because as soon as he's gone, like he is now from Jackson State,
he was beating
Jack.
He was beating Division I schools too, though.
Oh no, see that's fine. Division I. The crappy ass teams on Division I.
That's who he's going to play in Colorado.
Are you kidding me?
I'm saying
how many real Division I teams did Jackson State beat while Deion Sanders was the head coach of that football team? And I'm talking real. Do you have Auburn in there? Alabama, Michigan, any real college football teams on the Division I level?
First of all, the SEC is a different beast, okay? The SEC is a different beast than Jackson State, clearly. But here, give me a second.
Listen, I'm just going to estimate. I didn't watch it because I didn't fall for it. They didn't beat a real Division I football team while he was the coach there. So, yeah, he's a Z fan. I knew it. So, see, I'm winning.
But he can be a Podfather fan, too. It's okay. I got room for you.
All right. So, did you pull up the Jackson State schedule from last year?
Jesus
Christ. I ain't doing that. I already know.
Give me a second, Jesus. Yeah.
Just, I mean.
Okay.
Listen.
Okay. I'll see here. 4 A&M. Nobody cares about them. Okay. Tennessee State. Nobody cares about them.
At least I've heard of them.
Right.
Texas State.
Texas State.
Okay, formerly Stephen F. Austin. Nobody cares about them either. Grambling State.
Now, Grambling State is a respectful one, but it's not really a
Is
Division I.
Grambling State or just Grambling?
No, you said Grambling State. No, it is Grambling I'm thinking of.
Okay.
I don't know. Then I don't know about Grambling.
Then you got Mississippi Valley State. So obviously, I'm eating my words here.
No, but here, okay, I'll give him the props. While he was there,
Alabama. Hey, okay, you ready? Alabama, A&M, but
A&M, yeah. he brought
Campbell, Texas Southern, Alcorn State.
He brought eyes to the product while he was there, but it wasn't for the eyes weren't there for the players, though. The eyes were not there for the players. They were there for Deion Sanders,
but
like it was planned to be, which I get. But at the same time, now that he is gone,
all eyes will go to Colorado now.
But now he's and that being said, of course, that's the name of the show. You can catch it from 9 to noon on the Aussie. They're going to get their asses. I'm telling you right now, they are going to get their asses blown out in many games this year. Okay. They may not get blanked by 0, but they are going to everybody's talking about how good this football is going to be. How can you prove it when the guys that were on the team are bailing away because he's bringing his guys from a JUCO program to a Division I, expect them to win, 8 or 9 games. It's ridiculous. They'll be lucky to win 3.
Okay, we'll see what happens. If they win,
the Colorado, they have a tough schedule this season. They got TCU.
It's brutal.
They got TCU. They got Nebraska. They got Oregon. They got Arizona State. They got USC. They got Colorado State. They got hang on. It's taking a while to load. I'm trying to get it all.
Right. All those games are losses. And no way.
UCLA. Stanford. I mean, maybe Stanford. I don't know.
They might be able to get. Stanford's getting better though. But
yeah,
UFC. They were down last year. They got an opportunity to beat them. I'll give them that. Who's the other? What was the other team before that?
There's Arizona State. There's Colorado State.
They might have a shot against Colorado State. Arizona State right now is in shambles because they just fired Herman Bird, so that whole program's kind of jacked. So they
UCLA, or Oregon State.
Oregon State. The Beavers are a good team. Always, they win 7 to 8 games a year.
The Arizona.
It's gonna be a tough too. Now, what I will do on this show is I'll eat gummy worms. Okay. I won't eat worms, but I'll eat some gummy worms.
I'll see some gummies from Oklahoma.
I'll say I won't say that they won't make a bowl game, but it won't be a real one. It'll be one of the 42 that they play.
According to you, they're going to be 0-12, so how are they going to make a bowl game?
Not 0-12. I think they'll win 4 games.
That won't be it. That won't get them to a bowl.
And I don't know
how small the bowl is.
Is that going to be big enough? Is that going to be big enough for?
I think 6 wins gets into a bowl.
Well, 6 wins. That's what I'm saying. If he makes it to a bowl, you can look at it as a success. But they're not watching for the players; they're watching for Deion Sanders, and to me, that's backward. It's got to be the other way around.
But you got to look at it this way: how many high school kids are going to look at that and go, "Dude, Deion, he won at Jackson State. He did this. He did that. He's Deion Sanders. He's going to get eyes on us."
What?
So why not go to college?
Yes and no. When Deion Sanders picks up a phone to the NFL, do they actually listen? And that's the difference between Nick Saban.
Yeah, that's Deion.
Deion.
I like your kid.
Yeah.
You can come up here and play with me. That's good. That's cold up here. Don't worry about that.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. See?
I mean, by the small chance, what is one thing everyone doubted about the Lions this year? They doubted that they would have a winning record. We can't exactly count Colorado State all the way out. I'd say
or Colorado State.
No, not Colorado State, just Colorado.
Right.
I'd say for me, five wins. Maybe at most 6. I would cap it off at 6, but that's barely.
6 will get a bowl somewhere. It might be the Rotten Peach Bowl or
Okay. Okay.
but that's success. Hey. I will eat some gummy. I'll say this: if they make a bowl game, I'll eat some the black ones. I'll eat some black gummy. They're the worst. So I'll eat the black gummy ones on that.
I'll tell you this. I say they're going to win 7 games. Okay.
Okay.
What's the bet? Hold on. Whatever the bet is, I'll do it. Okay. Whatever the bet is, I will.
If you shut up, I'll tell you. All right, jeez. All right. For those who know who I am, you know that my real first name is a name I do not like at all. I've been cursed with it, and I do not like to go by. I go by my nickname Trey, both in my wrestling life and my real life. However, my real first name is a real eyesore for me. So I'll make you a deal. If Colorado does not win 7 games this year, I will change my wrestling name to my real first name.
Well, that just all depends on what it is. I mean, that.
Okay. Alton Mack III. I'll call myself that.
What is it?
Alton Mack III.
Well, I hate to even say that. I think Alton is actually a pretty good
I don't
name.
like the name Alton, so I mean, it hurts me when I say it.
Sonny, we should just pull up to his house and just bring a bunch of people named Alton on Halloween, and they'll be like, "Who are you dressed up as?" Everyone. Alton.
First of all, I don't think Sonny can take you across state lines, sir.
Well, that's true. Not unless Kathy comes along, I can't do it. So
no, I can't do it now. So, and second of all, I live out in the boonies. No one knows where I live out here. So
that's true.
I mean, the Yahoo studio runs
although
deep,
you're paying $400 in rent, don't you dare complain. Anyway,
$425, sir. Yeah. A little more than I want to pay.
Okay, you pay. I pay two.
That's on you.
Your rent is 2/3. Or 1/3 of what I pay.
Yeah, but I'm also paying. I'm also paying for other things too, which doesn't really help my cause.
I understand.
A new car didn't help it.
Yeah. See, even Richard says he's going to take that bet. I'll take the bet. No, we got to think of something. So that's going to be the plan. We'll get a week to think about what this bet is, because I'm going to take this bet. You said 7 games.
I say 7 games.
7. I am on that like flies on shit. I'm telling you, I'm going to win this bet. I don't think there's going to be a problem at all. So,
I think I know what games they're going to win. Colorado, they're winning against Washington State. That's what I'm thinking. I think Arizona State they'll win.
It could be a win.
There's a decent chance they win against Stanford. It depends if Stanford's good this year. I mean, really, with any football team.
Their quarterback play, if their quarterback play from last year can continue to progress, that's going to be a tough one. If they take the back seat, they got a chance to win in that one. UCLA is going to be a battle regardless because it's UCLA.
And they play Utah. They play Utah as well.
Now, well, listen, they're the Utes, right? The Utah Utes.
Nothing good comes out of Utah.
Yeah, well, the Utes. In theory, they should win that game. In theory, they should win that game. And then you got to throw in the fact, where is the mental capacity of this football team going to be when they're 0-3 going into the Utes or whenever or whoever it is or whatever the case may be. Because you can say whatever you want about Deion Sanders. Those kids still got to play the games. And if they're 0-4, this guy better be the master. I mean the master of motivation.
Okay,
to get them to win
Sonny,
after they're 0-4.
I got their schedule right here. Here we go. TCU Horned Frogs. Week 1, TCU Horned Frogs.
Lost.
That should be a win. I love TCU.
No,
I love TCU, but they got embarrassed during that championship game, so that's a loss. Okay.
Wait, hold on.
They got embarrassed.
Okay. And this is week 1, right? Is what you're saying?
Week one.
Okay.
I don't think so, Tim.
I already missed soundbite. Okay. Week number 2, Nebraska. In Colorado, by the way. So win.
Real dumb.
That is not.
Okay. Well, hey, Matt Rule's taking over a whole new system there. He's got players who are trying to figure out what he's talking about. He's NFL dumb right now, so we'll see what happens.
Well, he was actually in SmackDown. No rule. Yeah, he was in. He was on SmackDown.
Yeah, well, whatever.
He was. They were in Nebraska.
I don't make you smart. Okay, anyway, and okay. The Colorado State Rams at Colorado win.
That can be. I can maybe see that.
All
so
right.
I got one. You
all
got
right,
three.
All right. Colorado Buffalo's at Oregon Ducks. That's a win.
That is a loss.
Dare you say such a thing? That is insanity.
That is insanity.
That is a loss.
Say they beat the Oregon Ducks.
Okay,
there is no way.
Okay, fine.
No, I have to take the glasses off for that.
Wow,
that is so insane.
You're right. Nike will play a part and they'll cheat. Which I can relate to. Anyway, USC Trojans at Colorado. USC don't like cold weather, so all will be September. So
now listen, there's something to that theory per se. So all right, I can maybe see they're not even strong two that I got. Those are maybes. So okay, so maybe two. All right.
Hey, Richard, just FYI, that stuff's legal up here in Oklahoma, so we can do that. Anyway.
In Colorado too. That's probably going to be their downfall.
Is that okay?
That was terrible. Crazy knucklehead are terrible.
All right. Then they go to Arizona State. I love the Sun Devils. Danny White came from there. Love the Sun Devils. However, they're the Sun Devils. They lose. So
who loses? ASU or Colorado?
Oh, ASU.
That's a coin flip.
Okay. Oh, okay, fine. Heads on.
So there's three maybes.
Okay. Stanford. Like Z said, Stanford
maybe,
but see here, okay, at UCLA, that's going to be tough. They got to go to the West Coast. They got to deal with that, all the stuff that goes with that. But it's Deion Sanders. He knows how to get that team going. So I'm excited for that. So that'll be a win. Oregon State Beavers.
Oh, wait. Oh, so who are you picking?
I'm picking Colorado. So anyway,
okay.
Oregon State Beavers at Colorado Buffaloes. Guys, honestly, what wins? A buffalo or a beaver?
A beaver.
In this case,
I know I'm smarter than that son.
Wow. Okay.
A beaver for sure. A beaver 100 times.
Listen. You're 13. You're immature. We get that. It's all right. Fine.
I am not immature. What do you mean?
You want to hit me with a tortilla? Come on, give me a break. Okay, the Arizona Wildcats versus Colorado at Colorado. That's a loss for Arizona.
That's a loss. Wait, what?
Arizona Wildcats go to Colorado. That's a loss for Arizona. Once again, they don't like cold weather either.
So how many you got them now in at least 6 games, and that's before the meat of the schedule.
No, I got them losing 1 game so far. That's about it.
Okay, all right.
Okay, and then they got Colorado Buffaloes at Washington State Cougars. That's definitely a win. And then finally they finish up with Colorado Buffaloes versus Utah Utes. So once again, nothing comes out of Utah that's ever good. So there you go. Speaking of which, I heard that Salt Lake City is wanting to get a pro football. Is it pro football or pro baseball? I forget. But they're wanting to expand their pro sports stuff out there. So anyway, so I got them going about what 10-1 or 11, whatever the deal is. So yeah, they'll be in the bowl. Look at the bowl. They won't be the national championship.
Listen, if they make a bowl game, they can look at that as a successful season, even if it's the dog lifted his leg on the wall bowl. It would be. You can consider that a success. I will give you that. I don't see a bowl win.
You just say Deion Sanders.
Yeah, there it is, right there. I agree, Richard. I agree with you 100%.
That's what's legal up here. We can do that.
Richard, we need to drug test him. We really do.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, interesting how we got off on that.
I'm low with Dr. Pepper, so go ahead.
Well, now that being said,
same as Z actually, apparently, you know,
something like that. Anyway, all right, fine. All right, now back to some sort of resemblance of a show. That the big story, and it's been the story. It's going to continue to be the story until there's an actual signing of a contract, and that's Lamar Jackson's situation as far as the Ravens are concerned. Now, we've been kind of talking about this. This is going on now close to 6 weeks now. I mean, just real serious talk about what's going on with Lamar Jackson. Now, Lamar Jackson, listen, I'm not going to deny the guy's talent on this. The guy when he's out on the football field, the guy wins 70% of his games. There sometimes you can't argue with stats. So when you can't argue with stats, you got to look at all of the stats. And that is playoff stats has a lot to do with it, which is the reason why he's not getting the money. That being said, there was a big signing at the quarterback position, an extension for Joe Burrow, incredible amount of money, less than Deshaun Watson, but still $238 million for Joe Burrow.
And he's been to the Super Bowl too.
That is a point that I was making to a friend of mine the other day. You know, the guy's been in the Super Bowl. He's had success. He's been to a Super Bowl, damn near got to a second. The Ravens can't get out of the first round. The first 3 to 4 years, I don't put on Lamar Jackson. I put up on the fact that they haven't gotten anything for Lamar Jackson until this signing here. Is this enough to keep this football player who's supposedly the revolutionary at a quarterback position? Is it going to be enough to keep him there? Will he sign the contract? And if and when he signs the contract, what contracts it's going to be in reality? Odell Beckham, listen, I'm not an Odell Beckham Jr. fan, but I also know that if he gets that being Lamar Jackson, gets a real number one wide receiver, then they've got an opportunity to make some movement. Odell Beckham Jr. gives them a legit number one wide receiver, except for the fact we don't know if he will be number one-ish. He's been number one in the past. Where is he? Since he didn't play last year and got hurt in the Super Bowl with the Rams, got his Super Bowl ring anyway. What do you think the chances are? And I'll throw it to Z. What do you think Lamar Jackson's chances are staying in Baltimore as the quarterback with an Odell Beckham Jr. on the lineup?
Well, OBJ is a huge addition. For sure. He's proven that he can be a number one. But one thing about him, injuries. He has a talent of tearing his ACL, I swear.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. OBJ wasn't the only signing. And this isn't a huge signing, what I'm about to say. But it's a solid number 2 or number 3. Nelson Aguilar. He's played the game for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And then behind Nelson, you got Rashad Bateman, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Mark Andrews, and then all your running backs. You know, you have Gus Edwards, you have J.K. Dobbins, and Kenyon Drake. That's what I was trying to think of. It's a really solid offense, and I do think that because of what the Ravens are now trying to do, because at first, I think the Ravens weren't really getting Lamar help. Because
there's no question they weren't.
Right. I think they weren't trying to give them help because they thought he wouldn't leave. But now that he's threatening to leave, they're putting all of this money into, hey, come to the Ravens, help Lamar out. We keep Lamar. We become, maybe divisional round contenders. I don't see them going past the divisional round just yet. And realistic contract-wise, Lamar would probably sign 3 years, 180 million. Sorry, that can't speak.
No, that's, you know what? I get what you're saying, and 3 years, 180. That makes it all right. 3 years, 180. That would make this my math. 3, 15, 30. All right, so that's
60 million a year.
That's right at the 40 million. No,
60 mil a year.
Thank you. My brain is all shot. Good. I need a computer whiz like with. All right, so 60 million a year. So they're never going to get to that number. More than the fact they want to pay him 133 for 4.
I could see that, but I don't know if Lamar's going to want to sign that long.
Well, he has to. Pretty much that. If there's going to be a contract signing, basically that guaranteed money is going to have to span 4 years, not 3, because they probably won't sign it based upon the number at what they're not going to pay it. If they could sign him a contract right now for 180 million for 3 years, they still may not jump on that. But
yeah, but what I'm saying is,
how much money is it going to be? What we're talking about, Odell. Odell's going to demand some money. Obviously, not as much what's going to be there. Then the question is that the idea is to get him some talent and still be able to be reasonable on the salary for what's going on with Lamar Jackson. I don't think but here's where I think they're at. I think they would give him 140 million over 4 years. And I think that's the max that they're going to go. And even with the signing of Odell Beckham Jr., okay, if they don't keep Lamar Jackson, what could they get in the open market at a quarterback that's halfway decent, or go at the college level and grab up your next big thing? I don't know if they'll make that risk. I don't think they'll risk that amount of money, because what they're trying to do is reset the quarterback monies, but the Bengals didn't help that cause at all.
Exactly. The quarterback market.
They paid big bucks, but they also paid big bucks to a proven quarterback. And I think what they're trying to do is they'll set the standard, and you can pay the quarterback the big bucks, but what kind of guts are behind it? Meaning, what have you done to get the money? And they're going to throw that in a portion on how much someone's going to make when they're looking and searching for that big contract.
And another thing is, what's going to happen with the next market? Because last offseason, we saw the receiver market skyrocket.
Yep.
This year, it's the quarterback market, which it's a lot of money for quarterbacks, but there's so many good quarterbacks in the league right now that a quarterback isn't going to take 4 years, $90 million if he's putting up top stats.
Absolutely.
A quarterback's going to want 230 million. You know, Daniel
now
Jones.
They'll want 230 with Joe Burrow signing it. I think it was 234.
Here, I can check. Oh, what?
Herbert's going to want 234.
Oh,
Josh Allen's going to want 260.
Well, here's my thing with Justin Herbert. Why hasn't he made it past a certain round in the playoffs yet?
Because he's with the San Diego Chargers. I mean, he's with the Chargers, the LA Chargers. That is a franchise that can't get out of its own way at the quarterback position. Just look, all you got to do is ask Rivers about that situation. They can never get past. Now, is with Justin Herbert, he is the next projected guy. The question is what kind of step is he going to make in 2023 to get the money you're talking about? Because right now, I don't even think the Chargers are interested in paying Justin Herbert $200 million right now. So it's going to be that next step in order for him to make it. That's the reason why Herbert and Allen next year, depending on what Herbert does, and you're going to be seeing 250, 260 as a regular. And that's
Josh Allen, he's going to get paid the big bucks.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing is, will he leave if Stephon Diggs leaves? Because at that point, his number one receiver is Gabe Davis. And there's a chance that Dawson Knox leaves, his good tight end. But the thing with going back to Justin Herbert, with him, teams are looking at these good quarterbacks, right? If you don't have a good quarterback, over the past couple of years, you're watching these young quarterbacks develop. And whenever they're going into their new contract season, you're starting to think, well, Justin Herbert, right? He's been putting up good stats with, receivers like Keenan Allen, which nothing wrong with Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is a great receiver. He's just not as fast. And that's something that,
getting older.
If Justin Herbert had speed, it's kind of like Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. Mahomes had an arm and Tyreek had speed. He could just air it out there, and if he aired it out far enough, it's just a catch. But the thing with Justin Herbert is, what teams might want him and what teams might not want him? Because do they really know, which, yeah, most likely it is the Chargers' fault, but do they know if he can do well in the playoffs? He's made it once or twice before. I think it was only once. I think it was this year, right?
No, he didn't even make it last year. He made it the year before. And
Nice. And the thing is,
correctly.
Yeah, and the thing is, can they fully blame it on the Chargers? If you aren't completely certain on how a quarterback's going to do for you in the playoffs, why sign him? And if the Chargers don't want him, I could see if a team's trying to rebuild, like maybe a team like, I legitimately just thought of this, Vikings pick him up after getting rid of Kirk Cousins. Now, it sounds weird, but Justin Herbert, Justin Jefferson, they pick up another guy. I don't know if they need to pick up another guy. I think they already have their number 2 in KJ Osborne. This guy has been a solid number 3 behind Adam Thielen. But now that Adam Thielen's gone, we're going to see him make a bigger jump. And I could see KJ Osborne going for 1,000 yards and 5 touchdowns this season. Maybe more. I'd say 7 touchdowns.
Right.
I'd say. But I think maybe Justin Herbert goes to a team like I said, the Vikings. I don't think the Steelers are going to want him. A couple years ago before Kenny Pickett, I would say Steelers. But I think the Steelers want to keep Kenny Pickett and see how he does. If Kenny Pickett doesn't work out, then yeah, they're back in the quarterback market. Obviously, because, they don't have anyone else. I mean, Mason Rudolph didn't work out.
So what do you think what do you think the percentage is? And I'll take your opinion on this. What do you think the percentage is for Justin Herbert to return to the Chargers? Right? You think the money's going to be too much for them based upon it's kind of like a make or break year in reality when you talk money and future as far as Justin Herbert. That's basically what it sounds like. You're telling me that he better put up or shut up or he's going to be on a different football team next year.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. And here's the thing. The Chargers got a big decision to make. Keenan Allen's contract, he's getting quite a bit of money. And he's getting older. And yeah, he can catch a football, but do you want a younger quarterback who's going to continue to develop? Or do you want to keep a receiver that's going to retire for you in a couple of years and not bring back your quarterback? Here's the thing. There's 2 possible things that could happen to Keenan Allen. I'm just going to say one thing. He gets traded. Now, is he going to get traded for too much? No, I don't really think so. I'd say a 3rd from this year, a 5th from next year, and that's it. Because they want to free up cap space. If they want to keep Justin Herbert, they would take that trade. If they don't, then you might as well just go ahead and ship off Justin Herbert. And they're better off not paying him a new contract and just trading him somewhere. If they trade him somewhere, they're going to get much more value for what he's worth. And back to the Joe Burrow contract, it was Jesus. Hold on, wait. Let me make sure I search this up right, because I'm seeing 8 years, $408 million.
Yeah, that's not right. But 1 game in the playoffs, 2022. For Justin Herbert, 25-43. Okay, pass for 273. And no interceptions, which is always the big thing in reality when you're talking about a guy coming up and where he's at. So he didn't have really a horrible performance stat-wise, but the way they lost the game is also a portion of this. I mean, Trey, we can sit there and say a lot of things about a Justin Herbert on where he is on his development, but it reminds me of a Lamar Jackson situation. Young years, getting to the playoffs, taking a beating in reality. How he comes back from the beating in reality is whether or not, first of all, if they keep him, then how much they're going to pay him and for how long they're going to pay him. That's another, you got a 1, 2, 3 hit on Justin Herbert. Make or break year for Justin Herbert, you think?
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea. I will say this though, as he kept talking and everything else, my agent gave me a shout here, and we I think we can come to an agreement on this. Z, I'll accept your challenge for a tortilla match if it takes place in the steel cage.
I'll do it. I will jump off the top of the steel cage. Now, hang on. I'm seeing something from Richard here. He wants to see Justin Herbert in either a Lions uniform or a Cowboys uniform. Now, on the Lions, here's the thing. They got really good receivers. Well,
and they picked up Marvin Jones, who used to be a Lion from the Jaguars. He's going back, and it hurt my feelings because
I love Marvin Jones, and I liked him on the Jaguars. He seemed to be that guy that is reliable, and that's a big thing. You want a reliable receiver. Now, on the Lions, right, they have Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's amazing, absolutely amazing receiver.
Yep.
They got Jameson Williams. This dude has speed, and that's perfect for what I was saying with like the Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill situation. Justin Herbert, all he has to do, lay that ball out, 60 yards. Jameson Williams is going to go get it if he burns his man. And Marvin Jones, he could be the guy he hits on the quick slants and stuff. And then, of course, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown, which you let him do anything, he will most likely get separation.
Interestingly enough, Lions love what Jared Goff is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And here's another thing about that.
Yep.
Dating Jared Goff for nothing. I mean, when you talk $20 million or a $20 million contract at your quarterback position, and he did what he did last year for the Lions, making only what was it, $7 million? He gets the big jump, but it's a jump when you look at your number one quarterback and go, and the success that he had, okay, and you're going, man, we're getting a bargain here. So that's another thing. You look at it, Justin Herbert is not going to be the guy that's going to only make $20 million.
Oh, for sure.
He's not going to be a guy that's going to take the pay cut for the better of the team because of where he is as far as leverage as being a good quarterback. None of these guys are going to take less money. But if you keep Jared Goff, and Jared Goff did what he did last year, and he's not even touching in reality as far as quarterback numbers are concerned, you almost might want to see what the Lions should do is if there's any of those top 5 quarterbacks that are supposedly going to be any good, they better grab up one of them if they fall to them. And if they do that, keep Jared Goff. And because here's where it gets a little out of control for Jared Goff. Okay. Jared Goff in reality, he's only going to bring, as far as his contract are concerned, only $10 million base off of it. It's the cap hit that he's going to take because of other monies and other things going on. So the $30 million is the cap hit. But if you bring on Herbert, that cap hit goes completely crazy, and they're still going to keep a portion of the cap hit if they got rid of him. So they're almost in a Minnesota Vikings situation with Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
In reality, okay, I just lost my light there. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Herbert actually works at it. And by the way, Cage Mad, I would. Hey, were you talking to Mo? Were you talking back and forth with Mo?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking to my agent.
Oh, okay. You need to talk to Mo.
Yes, for sure. Because
Mo might set it up.
Most knows I got bigger things to worry about, but I'm willing to make this concession because as long as we put a cage match around it, that means he's going to have to find people to put the cage up. And let's face it, we've seen the sword cage; it ain't pretty. And
knows that.
and let's face it, I mean, it didn't do
Those things aren't stable.
It didn't do wonders for Lando when he was out there. So
poor thing.
I know. So I mean. I don't know. I mean,
I don't. Hey! It don't need to be a cage match.
No.
It really doesn't.
Well, it doesn't have to, but these are my stipulations. I mean, you're challenging me to a match. I'm telling you what my stipulation is.
By the way, does Bobby Horn look friggin' magnificent right now?
He does. He absolutely does. I am so happy for
Dude, he
had to go to almost 2 years in the friggin' hospital, but hey, the end result is what it is. And
I saw him a few Saturdays ago. I'm gonna tell you something. He was with it. He was talking. He was moving around, and it's so good to see him do that. Once again, considering where he was at a year ago, because of the COVID and everything else that he'd gotten, and what
you want to talk a guy that has taken a friggin' beating and got back up and doing it.
That's him. That's your definition.
All hats off to Sir Mo on what he is.
It's too bad he hates the network so damn much. So I mean, he keeps throwing stuff at us like like we're the worst people ever. We're not. We're hardworking people. I mean, we just want a chance. We're your champions.
Absolutely, he is. Bobby is looking outstanding, and obviously, all prayers always out to him. I love the guy, and especially he makes me laugh. I mean, if you get an opportunity to sit and talk to Mo, if you're paying attention, he'll make you laugh, and that you got to be paying attention because a lot of it goes over your head. It's just
Richard, understand this. I know you want to see Little Z win a match against big old me, but understand he's not just facing me. He's facing Eliza. He's facing Gay. He's facing
okay. You know what? No. Sonny. It's good. Because watch, I got my gang too. You want to bring your gang? I'll bring my gang too. And you won't even know these people.
This has escalated to something great.
Okay, wait. Okay, actually though, because this is real talk, real quick. Can we just go back to Justin Herbert for just a second?
Sure. All right. Oh yeah. Okay.
Sonny,
you took us on a left turn. Thank you, there, Trey.
That's my agent. Sorry, I was excited, but now I'm not excited anymore.
Justin Herbert.
So what? Here, sorry, I'm trying to rethink this question here because Mr. Trey Mack over here has to escalate everything. Mr. Instigator, we're gonna start calling him Mr. Instigator. That's his new nickname.
You can't spell that.
Yeah.
What do you believe that the Cowboys could possibly get rid of Dak and fill him in with Justin Herbert? Because do you think Justin Herbert wants to be in Dallas? Is my question.
Justin Herbert, I think, wants to be where the money will pay him. And if the Dallas Cowboys are smart and the Dak situation doesn't work out and they decide to let him go, if they don't have all their money in that basket immediately, that's going to be a problem for them. Because when you think about the Dallas Cowboys, okay, say whatever you want about the Cowboys being as bad as they are and they haven't been successful. They've always been somebody to talk about.
Yep.
You add Justin Herbert to that discussion, it just takes it up another notch, especially if what happens to Dak is not what is expected or hoping for me. I love Dak Prescott, hate the Cowboys. Love Dak Prescott.
Hey, maybe the Cowboys can make the conference championship for the first time in 30 years, and then Mr. Trey can have something to be happy about.
I am happy. I'm a very happy individual.
Stop lying to yourself. As a Cowboys fan, I know you are not happy.
The dude is so miserable being a Cowboys fan. He just won't admit it. He just won't admit it, Z.
I'm a realist, okay? I'm real talk. I'm a Dallas Cowboy realist. They ain't going anywhere anytime soon. I get that.
Okay.
And a lot of that is because you have an owner who is more focused on the stadium, the branding of the Dallas Cowboys, more so than championships.
Yep.
Okay?
I get what you're saying.
And Dak Prescott, love the guy to death. but he's not the guy.
I agree. If your quarterback, go ahead, Sonny.
No, I agree with. I don't think he is the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. I know where I'd go, but I'll let Zeke go ahead, and then I'll come back to it. I'll tell you where he goes if he doesn't.
So, if your quarterback is throwing more than 15 picks a season for a couple seasons straight, that is not your guy. I can see, obviously, quarterbacks are going to throw picks. You know, it's. I don't think there's been a quarterback that hasn't ever thrown one pick in a season. You're going to throw interceptions, but if you're constantly throwing 15 interceptions a year or more, that's not your quarterback.
Unless you're Brett Favre, the NFL frowns upon that.
I can make that exclusion.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Dak Prescott has found himself into more hot water with the interceptions because he's not as mobile as he was when he first came into the league.
Well, that's that foot injury.
That's that foot injury.
They went down.
So clearly his game has lost a step. Now losing Zeke, 5 years ago that would have hurt him. Nowadays, not so much.
No.
Y'all got Tony Pollard.
Better.
But here's the thing: Tony's got one leg now.
Yeah, I know that.
But y'all got Malik Davis.
But a left price too.
Davis needs more playing time out there, and he ain't gotten a lot of that. I think the Cowboys, if they're smart, which we can hold that in question. I think if they can find a way to trade up a little bit, maybe pick up the running back from Texas.
No, I have a better idea.
Same.
This is gonna sound somewhat weird. As a Cowboys fan, I'm just asking you as a Cowboys fan, Trey. Sure. Would you, if you were a Cowboys GM, would you feel comfortable with trading away Michael Gallup for, I don't know, like maybe a solid running back, like maybe Damian Harris? Like, would you feel comfortable with that?
Well, first of all, there's talks right now that either Derrick Henry or Dalvin Cook are in talks with the Cowboys right now.
Oh God, better hope. You better hope that's the discussions that are going on.
But so I mean, and that's not giving up, and that's not giving up Michael Gallup. Having said that, Gallup, well, he went down last year, big time. Now,
but I mean, there was a game where he got injured. Like he made that one sideline catch, and he got injured like right after. I think he tore something in his. Did he tear his ACL or did he break something?
CeeDee Lamb is the stud.
He's the guy, and Brandon Cooks is going to be a big addition.
I forgot about that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, but the thing is though is that you lost your tight end, so now you have to go around with Ferguson and somebody else now. You lose Zeke, you lose your power back out of the backfield on 1st and 1 at the 1. That's what you lost. Now, I know he can get more than 3 yards, but that's all he gets. That's all he gets. Their offensive line is exactly. But then Dalton Schultz didn't come on until later on last year because he was in contract year. Fullbacks don't exist anymore. Fullbacks do not exist in the NFL because they're your blockers, now your tight end. So I think for the Cowboys, they still have to rebuild the offensive line because Tyron Smith ain't gonna be there very much longer.
But y'all got that one guy. His name's Tyler or something.
Yeah, Tyler Smith. He's good until the penalties come on.
Absolutely.
You're right. Yep.
Yeah, when the penalties come on, it reminds me of Phil Pozderac back in the day, which is not a good thing.
Now, didn't y'all switch him to a position on the offensive line that wasn't his position?
Yeah, they did that because of injury.
So does that mean, could that be the reason why he got more flags?
No, because when he played out of position, he wasn't getting flagged. When he went back to his regular position, he got flagged.
So maybe y'all just primarily move him to that position that he was playing before he got flagged.
Then you still got to go find a player to take over that one role. Then,
that's where Jerry Jones is a positive for this football team if he does it right. He goes out and spends the money. He's the one that has the money. Will he spend the money on the project that needs to have the priority? And right now, let's be honest. The offensive line has got to be the priority right now, based upon what's going on right now and what the team is at right now. You need to get offensive linemen.
Well,
I've been saying it
first
for
of all,
years up on this show. The Dallas Cowboys should never draft anybody but on the first round except an offensive lineman.
Right.
Never.
But here's the thing. The Cowboys need to rebuild the offensive line through the draft because you get those 4 to 5 years of a rookie contract, get them beat up, ship them out.
Yeah, okay? Exactly. That's why you do it.
And the thing is, I know Jerry. He wants a flashy pick.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I mean, he wants to get the league talking. Dallas Cowboys are more important than him. Trust me, I've lived with this shit for a long time. I know.
He's a brand master, Cuervo.
Yes, I'm not Cuervo.
He's much better looking than you, Trey. He's a brand master, Trey. Yeah. Well, he's much better looking than me too. So
if you're judging how guys are looking, that's on you, sir. I'm not gonna take that away from you. But look, here, I ain't gonna win no beauty. I ain't gonna win no beauty contest. That's for sure. But look, here's the thing. As a Cowboy fan, I'm not sold on. I mean, yeah, they got a couple good additions.
Yes,
but they screwed up last year by not getting a solid replacement for Amari Cooper.
No question.
And
yeah, is, they decided that CeeDee Lamb was the
end all
to get all, and that was the problem.
For every one good decision they made 3 bad ones.
I agree.
And I'm sorry, that's not good math.
And here's another thing. Every good decision is coming with bad decisions. Okay. And go back the last 2 years. Okay. And then you take a look at Kellen Moore as your offensive coordinator, and you're talking about the performance of Dak. Dak has got to deal with Kellen Moore being the offensive coordinator. Now they got Brian Schottenheimer. They look just the name is better. Then you add the additions. You grab up that guy out of Houston, the wide receiver's name slipped my mind. Yes, and you bring in Brian Schottenheimer. The problem, and this goes along with what this question was right here. It's not a good idea for Mike McCarthy. That's the reason why they got Brian Schottenheimer. Mike McCarthy is the cancer of this football team right now.
You said it last time I was on.
I'm telling you right now, if they had a different head coach with the coaching staff that's in place right now, or maybe move up the defense coordinator to head coach, either one, but a different guy. I'm all for the Dallas Cowboys potential of being.
Okay, question. This is for both of y'all. What makes the Dallas Cowboys season a success?
You can go first, Sonny. I'll let you. I want to go off of what you say.
It just really depends upon who you're talking to. Okay,
I'm talking to you.
I'm
talking to you. What makes them a success? For me, what would constitute a successful season for them? On the minimum, okay, because we know the minimum. I mean, we know the greatest success is the Super Bowl, right? And not every team gets up there.
And that's what I'm saying. It depends on who you're talking about. If it's me, the Dallas Cowboys, first of all, need to win their division, and if they can't, they need to grab up that wild card. Okay, they need to get to the divisional championships in order for them to be successful this year with a Mike McCarthy as the head coach. Okay. Now, if it's a new guy, they need just to, get into the playoffs, have a good showing in the playoffs, maybe win the second game in the playoffs. But with Mike McCarthy at the helm, listen, I'm telling you right now, the writing's on the wall for Mike McCarthy, and Jerry Jones has already told him, you need to get to the NFC Championship, dude. Okay, I got you one of the best defensive coordinators in the league.
You kept him. That's what you did.
And you kept him, and they're keeping him because in case they kick him to the side, he can just go right into the job because he's done it before. So that's a good thing. All right. So outside of that, you throw Dak Prescott underneath Brian Schottenheimer. Dak Prescott's going to be a different quarterback. I'm telling you right now, he's going to be better.
He is,
I don't think there's any other way he could be. He's that good. And I don't think the injury is really a big concern in reality. So with a Brian Schottenheimer running this, it really the Dallas Cowboys, I think, should be not maybe in the NFC Championship game, but playing to get into it. So if the Dallas Cowboys can do that, then you can consider it a successful season.
If they're in the Final Four of the NFC, then it's a success.
Well, in the NFC, yes.
In the NFC, yeah.
So,
okay.
What do you think, Z? When
what
you're
about
looking
Z?
at
Come on. Are you Super Bowl or bust, or are you going to give them a little bit of leeway?
Well, I'm gonna say I'm not saying Super Bowl or bust. That's one thing I can't say because no offense to the Cowboys at all. I mean, I don't like the Cowboys, but of course I'm not gonna bash them, because that's just.
I'll do that for you.
Please, no.
You like Jacksonville, so it all goes the same for me too. So
Hey, it's Jacksonville Jaguars went to the playoffs, by the way. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, and they won a playoff game.
Wow, that's a shot. That's a shot.
You're right. You're right. You know what? Look out that window. A lot of other teams have done that as well. Okay, so
I know.
So, but if I think y'all's defense. If it was just y'all's defense, y'all make it to the Super Bowl. But I think Dak's holding y'all back. But even then, your defense couldn't win you a Super Bowl because your only decent corner is Trayvon Diggs. But every time there is a double move, he bites on that so hard.
I love this kid. I knew I brought the right guy in here tonight. I love this kid. He's explaining exactly what's wrong with the defense or the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a good chance you see him at the Baylor Burn Center here, every once in a while, that's for sure. But but here's the thing. Once again, like I said earlier, look out that window. A lot of great cornerbacks out there get burned every once in a while.
I'm just saying.
But his is more times than not. Yeah, you're right.
And I mean, he's not bad, but I mean, if y'all play Justin Jefferson, the 40-3 versus the Vikings this year. Y'all played a really good game that game. The Vikings just could not do it.
I did my best.
Well, they show up.
Yeah, exactly. But
any other time that game, the Vikings are winning that game.
If y'all play the Vikings again, and Justin Jefferson is better than what he is now, and he's running those little double move routes, all I'm saying is if y'all don't have another good corner, it's touchdown all day to Justin Jefferson. And they're just going to feed the ball to him because Trayvon Diggs won't stop fighting on the double moves. That's the thing.
You know why he bites on the double moves?
Because
he's more concerned about getting interceptions than he is defending the ball. And that's where the problem comes with listen, I'm not going to take away from Diggs. I mean, he gets interception at interception. Yeah. But what Z is talking about is picture perfect to what the Dallas Cowboys don't need at that position in reality. And the interceptions are overshadowing his other play that is not up to par. And if you're going to play in the NFC East where 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 teams made the friggin' playoffs, you better be better than that because you will get burned by one of those 2 other teams.
Okay, but one thing, and I agree with you on Diggs. Here's the thing. First year we had him, he lit the league on fire with interceptions.
Absolutely.
Second year, he kind of figured him out a little bit. Just put him in his place. Didn't get as many interceptions. Was still a threat, but was not as big of a threat as he was the year before. So now you've had 2 full years, right? Now whoever secondary coach is considering, okay, these were your deficiencies. Okay, this is what kept you from having the great first year you had originally. Now it comes down to coaching. How can I coach you into a better position? Do they have that person? Defensive coordinator-wise, they do. But he ain't doing the secondary every day, sitting with the same players every single day. So whoever the secondary coach is, they need to sit there and go, let's play your strengths. Let's hide your weaknesses. And in hiding your weaknesses, we got to find someone who can back you up and not get burned. That's the thing. Is that player out there? Are they in the draft? Can we get them in free agency? Don't know yet. But we'll wait and see what happens. I mean, you still have the NFL draft. What is it, next weekend?
No,
it's here. I think
it's 2 weekends from now. So, yeah, it's the 27th or the 28th, 29th, and 30th, I think.
Yeah.
I've been blocked out. Bye, Sonny.
But yeah, as to what you were saying, what Sonny was saying, there's 3 good teams in the NFC East. The thing with, jeez, I can't. The thing with 2 of those teams, right? You got on the Commanders, you got Terry McLaurin, right? Terry McLaurin is a good number 1 receiver. And on the Eagles, you got 2 good receivers. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying.
But the thing is, Commanders still got to find a quarterback though, don't know.
Yeah, I mean, okay, no, Jalen Hurts is good for the Eagles. They just got to find a good quarterback for the Commanders.
Yeah.
Okay, hot take. Commanders get a good quarterback, they make it into the divisional round.
No.
Why do you think that?
Their defense still sucks.
You're okay, yeah, you got a good point, but what about the defensive line? If they get another good corner behind Kendall Fuller,
but if you can throw over them, who cares? If you can throw over the defensive line, who cares? So I mean, once again, they're in a major. Not only are they in a rebuilding situation, they're trying to find who the hell's going to own that damn team.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've got a lot of bells and whistles going on right now, where that might overtake their thoughts for next year. Now the Giants are scary. Giants,
I agree.
They're not as scary, but I mean, they're not scary Eagles scary, but they're definitely scary. Eagles, of course, did what they did last year, but the thing about that, any team that wins the Super Bowl, getting back is always the issue. It's always the issue.
Ask the Bengals.
Yeah, ask the Bengals. Ask the Buccaneers.
Well, and think about this though. And what you're talking about, very valid. Year number 2 under Dable. You give that kid in New York another year with Dable, he might live up to the potential that they thought they were going to have when it was Peyton and Eli Manning's coach.
Yep.
That brought him in and got him to the level to get him into the NFL. They needed the substantial quarterback coach to make them what they are. Dable has turned into that.
Know what though? But here's the thing, and I think we all can agree on this. Injuries play a major part in the NFL, no matter what. Mm-hmm. So on paper, everything can look how we want it to look.
You bet.
You take a player away, it's a different ball game. Take another player away, it's a different ball game. And the NFL stands for not for long, right?
And that's a good point too. But Daniel Jones is a little bit of a different monster because he can do what he does with his legs. And the difference is that it's not something that they have to rely on. Right. Is his legs.
He still can't beat the Cowboys though.
Well, he still can't make it to the end zone without tripping up on the 10-yard line. So it's just one of those things. But Dable listen. They gave the coach of the year to the wrong guy, which was Dable. They should have gave it to my guy Peterson in Jacksonville, and that's not just because I'm a homer. He did more with the players that he had. But outside of that guy's an outstanding offensive coordinator / quarterbacks coach because you weren't getting what you saw last year from Daniel Jones before Dable took over the stable over there. So now 2 years and a second year, that's really good. The only problem is that means there's more film for defensive coordinators to go. So they're going to probably go a different route at trying to defend it. And that's going to be the difference with what Dable can do with Jones to make him better, to improve his team. The Giants are still a threat in this division because it is the NFC East. It's known as the NFC least, but you're seeing improvements on all football teams except one, that being Washington.
I'll say this though, and for Z, the NFC North, South, make that. It's gonna be the division to watch because
crapshoot.
Yeah, it's truly a crap because like y'all said earlier before I came on here, Carolina Panthers, New Orleans Saints, even the Atlanta Falcons, if they can figure their stuff out, and for that matter, you still got Tampa Bay still in there.
Exactly.
That's just, once again, it's gonna be. The NFC North and North. How am I keep doing that? The NFC South and the NFC East are going to be crapshoots for all those teams that are in there because they're on. I'm not going to say they're on the same level, but they're close.
No,
They're close
I think they are on the same level. The only one on the head and shoulders above them are Philly right now. Yeah. I agree with you. I think they're pretty much all on the
Philly
same.
Can't
7
be
of the 8 of them.
But
now,
Philly
Trey.
Yes, sir.
So I asked. Well, I didn't exactly ask Sonny about this, but he kind of gave me my opinion. Kind of gave me his opinion on this. What is your opinion on Desmond Ridder? Do you think he could be a proven winner, possibly?
I mean, he had a rookie year last year, right?
Yeah, he played like 4 or 5 games for the Falcons, and they listen. They're set on this guy being their guy.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the 49ers quarterback, that young cat who got hurt.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah, Purdy.
Mr. Irrelevant.
I put him on the same level as a Purdy right now.
Right. Okay. But
I think he's as good as Purdy.
But here's the thing. He has time to develop, right?
Right.
Now, I give him
under whose definition of time?
He had a full 17 game season to figure this out, right?
Yeah.
Not really.
Why
no,
not?
He's got about 10 games. He's got about 10 games to figure it out of whether or not this team's going to be a playoff team or they're going to be a whitewash and be back into the ocean.
Hold on a second. We're not talking about the team. We're talking about him as a player. Okay.
Well, hold on. Him as a player have a direct effect on what the team does.
Not really.
If they don't get quarterback play, they're in a lot of trouble because they've shown the first half of the game defensively they're good. After that, they're on the field too much. They need to be good offensively.
Sonny, if he's putting up 5 touchdowns a game, their defense is giving up 6, you can't put that on him. I'm sorry,
right.
You can't put that on the quarterback.
Well, he hasn't done that yet.
No, I'm just saying. Like I said, when the year plays out, if he can run a solid offense, but the defense is giving up everything on the umbrella, and they can't win the game because of that, you can't fault him as a quarterback.
And that I think that would stand out. They're doing that with. They're pretty much doing that with Purdy.
Right.
In reality.
So you know what? That's why we give him a full season to see where is he. And if they got to make adjustments by bringing in defensive players, trading, free agency, draft, whatever the deal is, they'll address that next year if it comes down to that. Now, if it comes down to he's going out there and he's throwing 4 picks a game, clearly he ain't ready. The game is too fast for him. Okay? So, but we got to wait and see if that's going to happen or not. And to sit here after only 4 games and say he's a bust, he ain't going to make it.
Oh, no.
That's too early. That's
the problem. That's the problem, Trey. That's the problem. The franchise is putting the golden jacket on him right now, and that's the problem with what's going on.
But
listen,
franchise
he may have all the
franchise
potential in the world, but
comes in though. Franchise every rookie quarterback that comes in, every owner is saying he is our guy. He is going to be the guy who's going to lead us to the promised land.
Sure.
And when he's not, aka Ryan Leaf. When he is not that guy.
Hey, man, now that's just wrong. That's just wrong.
but it happened, right?
On so many levels, that's just wrong.
Hey, Michael Vick was going to take you to the promised land. Got close.
Was he? Did they really think he would? And I'm asking.
Yeah, because he was their guy. He was the guy that put Atlanta on the map.
I agree. I think he could have been the guy. His legs were.
He liked dogfighting. He liked dogfighting too much.
Right now, here's the thing. Right now, because that was like the first era you saw a guy like. Sorry, I was about to say Lamar Jackson because they're so alike. But
right.
That was like one of the first eras you saw a quarterback like Michael Vick.
Right.
Like what?
Here's the thing. Back in the '80s, we had a guy named Randall Cunningham for the Eagles.
And
and he was a double threat too. Warren Moon wasn't, and it was funny because it always linked to the African American quarterback, because they had the dual threat with the arm and the legs. So, but Randall Cunningham, he played for the Eagles in the '80s, and let's face it, they weren't going anywhere. But and that's where Michael Vick ran into that problem. He got them close with the Falcons, but life got in the way, and then of course, he was exiled for the NFL for a little bit. So, the thing is that, and Lamar Jackson, but going back to that conversation that Z overran with all sorts of stats on, which I was blown away with. The thing is, Lamar Jackson, he's still got to do something. Okay. He still has to do something to make him worth the kind of money he wants. You and I talked about this not too long ago. Getting Odell Beckham is going to be a big plus for him. But that takes away the money they're going to pay him this year.
And Rick is right. They kind of, if you look at the sport and
You're not
do
wrong.
the history, Fran Tarkenton was probably the first the scrambling quarterback.
4 Super Bowl appearances too. Just like Jim Kelly.
And
0 wins.
Think about this: the scrambling quarterback is now. It's now a must in today's NFL game, to where it wasn't back in the Fran Tarkenton days. Back in that, hell, even Steve Young, is kind of, you look at what he did, but they all still depended on that pocket passing portion of what they do 90 to 95% of the time, to whereas that percentage has gone down to about 80% at the height. I think it's around 75%.
This is what, right. And this is where the value for the running back has gone down, because the quarterback has that.
So, Sonny, quick question.
Sure.
So, are you saying if you started a franchise, right? Say you started your own franchise, just in theory, right?
Oh, dear Lord. Every coach going, let me tell you, we're going to do this. We're going to do that this week. We're going to do this also. We're going to do all of it.
Hey, starting a franchise and coaching the franchise is two different things.
Right. But see, say, your whole team was picked out and you had, well, no, hang on. Let me just take this back. So would you rather have would you rather have a guy like Lamar Jackson or Justin Fields as your starting quarterback? Or would you rather have a guy like, man, I'm trying to think of a decent pocket passer. Well, okay, I'm not going to say on his level, maybe better, but a guy kind of like Mac Jones. Would you want a guy that is kind of has the same archetype as Mac Jones? Or would you rather have a guy like Justin Fields or Lamar Jackson?
I'll tell you the guy, starting now in today's day, 10 years ago, this is a different conversation. Today, I'm a Patrick Mahomes boy.
Okay.
He gives you the value of the pocket passer at 85% of the time, and the 15% of the time, what he does just astonishes all reality. And you're going, how the hell did he do that? He throws a loaf of bread and he's still able to complete the pass. Today's quarterback should be looking at Patrick Mahomes and how he plays football, more so than trying to redefine the quarterback position to an extreme, as where you see with Lamar Jackson's and those types of players. They still have to have a base. That base has to be at least 75% at the pocket passer, because if you go back and look at Super Bowl champions, how many of them are run first? And I'll just save you the time. The answer is 0. So you've got to look at the experience and where the league is going. Right now, the league is where Patrick Mahomes is regarding running versus passing. When Lamar Jackson and all the other ones that do what he does don't make it for 15 games, 14 games, Patrick Mahomes does. So I think there's a correlation between the new school of quarterback making it and being successful to how about just getting to the Super Bowl? How many have made it? The answer is 3. So, and how many Super Bowls have there been? They're pocket passers. You look at the stats, you look at what's successful right now. The quarterback that is the most prolific quarterback in the NFL is Patrick Mahomes.
So you want a guy that's kind of in the middle. You want to improvise.
85-15, because that's what Patrick Mahomes is.
Okay.
He might even be 90-10, but I'll give him the 85-15 just in case I'm a little bit off on that.
Okay.
Plus he has a big Muppet voice too.
There you go. And
he's perfect.
And he's got 2 Super Bowl rings, should have 3. So you just look at where the quarterback position is going. I hate it and I don't like it. I like pocket passers. But if you're gonna start a franchise right now, if you're not, and you have the first pick and you're not taking Patrick Mahomes, you need to go get drug tested, because you're making the wrong decision. Regardless, it could be Herbert, it could be, and I love Joe Burrow. It could be Josh Allen. Right now, if I had my choice, if I have the number one pick, I'm taking Patrick Mahomes. Number two, I'm taking Josh Allen.
Okay, question. What's the leash on Bryce Young?
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm going to tell you, I can't talk intelligently on that, because, and I know everybody's going to hate.
Trust me, it's not a first, really, but okay.
Well, that's true too. But everybody's going to hate the way I say it. Rookie quarterbacks are the most irrelevant position in the NFL. They're never successful. If they make the playoffs, it's first round. So I don't have an impression on any of them, because they are irrelevant to today's NFL football until they get some miles underneath the wheels and figure out if they can adjust. First of all, adjust to the speed of the game. And second of all, can their game be coherent to what the game is when he finally takes the field? They say it all the time. Rookie quarterbacks, what's the first thing they always say? I cannot believe the speed of this league. That's because they haven't seen that speed. It's because the guys that have been doing it for years and years and years are doing it every day. And these guys haven't even stepped up to it. So,
to his credit, he was pretty decent in the Southeast Conference, which is college football's version of pro football. So, I mean, you have that to work on too.
I mean, really? Really?
I mean, besides the Southeast Conference, who else has brought you damn near pro speed type teams?
He's got a point.
It's a valid little, because listen,
still valid.
I'll just tell you this, okay? How many quarterbacks are going to be taken in this draft in the first round? 5? I think it's 5. They're kind of
4 or 5, yeah.
Bryce Young. I'll name off mine. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson.
Well, after you said the first 2, I was out with the other ones, so I
see,
know.
Okay, see, and that is actually the point. Okay, listen, I don't put any relevance on anybody on any rookie in the NFL. I can give a rat's fat ass about them, because they're not going to be relevant. And if and when they are relevant, it's going to be on a team that doesn't matter.
Yep.
I mean, look at Gardner. An example. Look at Gardner. That guy is that guy's super bad. Did it matter? No. So now, whatever the Jets are going to try to do, whether it's with Aaron Rodgers or anybody else, okay?
I'm tired of that story.
How's that going to go? Yeah. That's a story in itself. We hadn't even touched on it. He's still not a Jet, by the way. So it's crazy how that. But I will tell you, if the Jets are going to be relevant, they better sign Aaron Rodgers.
Well,
and they better make that young man Gardner happy and start already talking about contract extensions, because that guy's a stud.
Well, don't you think you should give him at least 2 years? Because
make that kid happy now, start paying him more money. That's what you do. If you want to keep your guy happy, you keep him happy by paying him money. And that's what you do, especially to a young cat. Let's be honest. Young people can really give a shit about championships. They care about the money. So if you give them the money, maybe it'll bring you a championship in his instant. Not all rookies are that way either. I mean, count how many rookies you can count them on one hand on how many rookies are worth a nickel in the NFL their first year. And it's a numbers game. Remember, how many are on a football team? 63? There's 32 teams.
Like 53?
Is it 53 or 63?
Yeah, 53. That could be
50. Okay, so 53. There's 30. There's 32
teams.
teams in the NFL, and five rookies are going to be worth a nickel.
I agree.
The odds are not on this side. So that's why I don't look at rookies and say, by God, he's going to turn around the franchise. I'm not saying that until at least year number 2, possibly 3, to make it worth it.
Well, question: Does Bryce Young go to the Panthers in the first pick?
If I'm not wrong, I'm pretty sure the Panthers already said that they're taking Bryce Young number 1 overall. I think I saw something. I don't know. Here, I can fact check that real quick.
Because what we were saying, the Panthers are going to be one of the teams to beat in the South, to be doing that with a rookie quarterback.
Listen, the Panthers are this goes to the fact that there's only 5. That guy could be one of them based on what the Panthers are doing right now to try to support the pick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if they've done a decent job in the offseason, I don't like the fact that they traded away the quarterback or that wide receiver to the Chicago Bears. I don't like that at all.
Mm-hmm.
But what they're going to do, replace him, and how they replace him, and what kind of thing. And this is just I'm gonna just show you this. I found this, and it kind of where the hell did I put it?
Mm-hmm.
There it is, right here. Just take a look. Just take a look from, and this is a numbers game from 2000 to 2019. These are the first pick in the draft at quarterback since 2010 to 2019.
So wait, these are just quarterbacks?
The first quarterback taken in the draft in 2010 was Sam Bradford.
Okay, I'm sorry, I don't know who EJ Manuel is.
I know the name. I couldn't place him. Yeah.
This is going to be my point right here. Okay, Sam Bradford. Unless you're a Ram fan, you probably don't even know who he is.
Well, the whole thing is like there's a ton. There's like the very few Peyton Mannings out there, right?
And listen, Peyton Manning went one. Peyton Manning went 1 in 15 his first year too.
Right, but there's a lot of Jeff Georges out there.
Oh God, yeah.
So I mean,
there's a lot of Jameis Winston's, EJ Manuel, Sam Bradford. What if all of these quarterbacks that have been taken in the first round, not one of them has won a Super Bowl?
Yep.
Bradford did.
No, he didn't.
Did anyone with the Rams?
No, that was Kurt Warner.
That was Kurt Warner.
Okay.
So none of them have won a Super Bowl. So that's number 1. Okay.
Well,
there's only 3 of them that have been to a Super Bowl and lost.
Right. Okay.
So we got a total here of 10 guys. You have 2 of them, or 3 of them that's been to the Super Bowl. That means 70% chance you are going to get a guy that's not going to get you to the promised land and or get you deep into the playoffs.
Now, Sonny, you showed me something. And it was like top 5 most passing yards in a game or something.
I'll put that back up. Yes, I'll put that. I still have that. Right, where is it?
Because there's a quote point that I wanted to make.
No, that's not it. I gotta find it. Did I show that today? There it is, right here.
Yes, that's what I was looking for. Now you see like some of these quarterbacks repeat, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see Drew Brees twice.
Mm-hmm.
And they were Drew Brees both of the years, right?
Mm-hmm.
2012 and 2011 to 2012.
Mm-hmm.
He's number 1 and number 5. You see it with Dak Prescott around the same time frame. And then you have a guy like Matthew Stafford. Now, the question about Matthew Stafford.
While he was with the Lions.
While he was with the Lions, yes. Now the question is, do you think Stafford could heal, right? Because he had spinal fusion surgery. Do you think Stafford could heal up enough to play a full season and get at least 9 or 10 wins, enough to make a wild card appearance this season?
With the Rams?
Or with the Rams, yes, with the Rams.
I think my answer is no.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why I think that is and it's not because of Matthew Stafford. I don't think the team is sold on him right now being the guy.
Oh no, the team is in shambles.
Yeah,
That
they're in. That's a
shambles.
great word. They are in friggin'. The Rams are a friggin' shambles right now. You're absolutely right. And as good as Matthew Stafford is, and and that's tough for me to say in reality.
Well,
Because
could you
I'm
say
not a big believer on his Super Bowl win. Okay, as far as his career, it's great for his career, but it's not the thing that defines his career. It defines his career because he won a Super Bowl. But if you take that year out, you're looking at a guy that can't get the job done or even make it to the playoffs. So, it's all about the belief of your coaching staff and ownership when you bring that guy in here. When they brought him in, it was a match made in heaven. But remember who the quarterback is for the Lions right now. Okay.
And that guy went from being absolutely terrible, but now he is proving that he can get your team a winning record and possibly into the playoffs. Now, how far will he make it to the playoffs? Will he come up short like he did in the Super Bowl? What was that, 2019? Or
2018.
I mean, depending on who his receivers are, can he even make another Super Bowl at this point or no?
And that's where the team being in shambles is whether or not going to be good for where they are. Here's what's going to happen with the Rams. I'm going to predict it, and it's just they're going to go into the season thinking they're okay, and that's a problem because they're not okay. Because, like you said, they're in shambles. They are going to try to mask what their problem is right now and try to make it. Hey, we're gonna have a great season, and
but they're not.
And they don't even believe it. But that's what they're going to put out there. They're going to live on Matthew Stafford because they brought him the Super Bowl, which in reality, when you look at it, Jared Goff was not able for him to do is to win the Super Bowl, but he sure got him there, which is the reason why the Lions, I think, got the best deal out of this all, because guess what? First year, that was a disaster. Everybody knew it was going to be a disaster. Second year, whoa. Now we're talking about winning some football games. They're actually and the talk is because of what Jared Goff has been able to do with that team. And they're talking playoffs, and it's crazy.
So with a deal like the Raiders this season, right? Derek Carr, they didn't believe in Derek Carr. After, near the end of the season, they started, what is his name, Jared Stidham or something?
Yeah, Stidham. Yeah.
Now, say that happens with Matthew Stafford. Do you think that John Wolford could? Okay, I'm saying at near the end of the season. Okay,
yes.
Listen, I understand if you're laughing here. Do you think John, if there was like 4 games, if the last 4 games of the season, how many of those games would he win? Do you think he would even win 1?
And I don't think they even win 1 because of what the time of the year it is. Championship teams and championship caliber teams, they get better starting December 10th. After that, you pretty much know who's going to be good, who's going to make the playoffs, and really kind of how they're going to go, and bringing in a rookie or a no-name quarterback. Listen, there's not a snowball chance in hell that they do anything worth a nickel. And I love optimism of people, but the history of the NFL it's almost, it writes itself. Okay, if you're a rookie and you're going into the playoffs, you're not going to get to round 2, and if you do, you're going to get slaughtered in round 2.
It's kind of like the Giants.
Exactly, and that's a good point. So when I look at and that's why I look at young players, and I even say 2 years. I'm not impressed with any of them, and I don't care what they do, because year 3 is when you put on your big boy pants and you're going to go play NFL football. So it's all about experience underneath what you're not used to doing before you go in and doing it. It's just like me taking on this new job. I had no damn clue what I was doing. Still don't. But I'm better. I'm better now, and it's a slow progression. And in the NFL, it's the same thing. It's a slow progression. quarterbacks aren't worth a nickel until their third year. It's just the kind of way it kind of works out, but it is. Oh, jeez. I love you. You want to know why this show? I love doing this show. It's 340. Now we don't have a time. We just go until whenever we want, but I'm just like, holy crap, it's 340 already. It's just nuts. I love it. I love the show. So I'm not sure what anybody else's schedule is, but we got a show next week. So all the things that we didn't get to today, we'll cover then, unless we go on the sideways. You know, I love going sideways. That's why I almost named the show at one point, changed the name from the Couch Potato Sports Show to Going Sideways. I literally almost changed the name of the show.
Well, I will say one thing. And last time I was on the show, you and I talked movies and stuff for the end of the show.
Uh-huh.
I saw The Well last night.
You finally saw it.
Finally saw it.
What's
Austin Butler should have won Best Actor.
Say again?
Austin Butler should win Best Actor for Elvis. Sorry. But look, anybody can put on a fat guy suit and act sad. I do it all the time. But I mean, you know, the thing is that Austin Butler transformed into Elvis for 3 different decades. That's why he should. That's
impressive. That is impressive.
That's why he should have won Best.
Did they have a fat Elvis with him too?
Yeah. The very last scene, he's barely struggling.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
and he was doing and he was sitting there at the piano playing, which when they split to the real Elvis, you're going, holy crap. But look, I mean, it was a good movie. Wasn't great, but it was good. I felt bad for the guy. At the same time, you know, it is what it is.
Well, hold on. Can I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
You looked at it and go, I live this every day.
No, I don't want to kill myself. So I mean, that's just a little different.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought at one point, you were.
I mean, a year ago I could have said that, but not now. I mean.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad that is where it's at. Even though I give you so much credit. I think I die knowing that you wanted to do that.
No, it was a good movie. Brendan Fraser was fantastic. But I mean, both guys did a fantastic job. I just think Butler did more.
Well, he might have. The funny thing is, tomorrow I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch that Elvis movie. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, so you'll love it.
I'm going to watch that tomorrow.
But I'll preface this by telling you this: watch the movie knowing this is not a biopic. So you went.
Anytime.
I said steel cage. So
we got to get you got to get a hold of Bobby.
I'm busy right now. Okay, I've got champions of man.
Maybe I'll reach out to Bobby. I spoke to him. I spoke to him last week actually. Maybe it was 2 weeks.
You bailed on him. He ain't talking to you.
I don't want Bobby. He's back in the hospital. As soon as he gets out, I'm gonna talk to him.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure he wants to hear from you. But no, I mean, if you watch the Elvis movie, watch it as not a biopic, but as a dying man's memories while he's on a morphine drip, because that's how Colonel Tom Parker is represented in this movie at the beginning.
Okay, I will. Sounds like a plan. Well, we blew 3 hours out of the water. We usually do when we start bull rocking, which is great. It's always fun. And Z, I'm not even just saying this to stroke your ego. You did a fantastic job. You did better than me half the time.
I will give you
even more than half the time.
Thank you.
Thank you. And by the way, you're invited every week. I'll send you the link. You show. You don't. It's not a big deal. Whenever you feel like it, you come on and we'll now it changes a little bit when we get to the NFL season, know, the kind of the platform and how we run it. But until then, we got until late August, early September before we get to that.
Z, I'll even throw you the invite out to Offshoots TV Thursday nights at 9 p.m. if you can stay up that late. If you want to pop on with us and talk wrestling with us, we're more than happy to bring you on too.
Hey, pop his ears. Did you hear what he said? He said if you're allowed to stay up after
No,
9.
he is
Pop
13.
this
I don't
guy's
know.
ears when you say, not only hit him with the tortilla, pop his ears at the same time.
He is 13. I mean, his mom might have strict rules with him. I don't know.
No, I get to stay up till 10.
I got news for you. This guy was out at a football game last night until 10 o'clock.
It wasn't a school night. It wasn't a school night, pal.
Yeah, no. When it's not school nights, I stay up till like 1:30.
Yeah,
okay. But when it is, I mean, clearly you got priorities. So if you want to pop on with us, let your mom know, and I'll send her the invite. Okay.
All right.
But that's going to do it for us. I'm going to take a nap because we went to a football game last night with Mr. Z.
You're missing the USFL right now.
It just started. Yeah, I'm going to go watch.
You're going to take a nap.
I'm going to fall asleep during it. I didn't say I was going to stay up the whole time. I said I'm going to watch it. I'm probably going to fall asleep watching it, but it is what it is.
You're going to put it on, give them the rating, and then you go to sleep, right?
Yeah, and put it on DVR and see what more I can get. So, but we'll do it next week. Tentative time, noon, unless Cuervo gives us a time. Cuervo sets the time based upon his schedule. I do anytime. So tentatively it's noon. And then if Cuervo changes it, I'll let you know. So that's going to do it for us here on the Couch Potato Sports Show. Make sure you join us every Sunday. As of right now, we're going to be on air at noon next week, unless Cuervo gets a hold of us. So for the Podfather, I got to figure out the Podfather, Trey Mack, and Z, which I guess I shouldn't say this, but what a pleasant surprise. Always welcome. Don't ever hesitate to ask to come on. You're always welcome. That's going to do it for us on the Couch Potato Sports Show. Yep. And I am Sonny Clark. What am I? The hardest working man in sports radio. We're out of here, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.